course.
Welcome to the Salty Dragon Tavern.
Hi, guys.
Pull up a chair, come grab a drink, and come watch us play some Dungeons & Dragons. As usual...
Oh, dear.
Who's got their audio on? Me.
It's good to be back.
Good to be back after 3 weeks of absence.
Yes, just in frame.
Your head's slightly cut off, but you needed a haircut anyway.
I don't!
You do.
What do you mean? It gets way worse than this before I get a haircut.
Yeah, it's
Coffee.
Yeah, it's
One sugar and tap.
This is very manageable.
Have you got my mug?
I like this. You need a haircut.
The big metal stainless steel one.
Mr. Warrior's wolf tail over here.
What? He just need a haircut. It's too long on the sides.
Yeah, I need to get my side shaved. It's too long.
I can do that for you.
Anyway, everyone, welcome back for the small amount of people that we actually have. I'm going to start advertising the channel that we're actually live.
Woo!
Yeah, boy!
As usual, we start with our 20-odd minutes of just random bullshit.
Yeah. And merch promos.
Oh, that's right, yeah, you got the Gorlin t-shirt, actually.
Yorlin shirts, finally. Yeah.
It's very handy.
Literally got back the day of getting back from Quest, and Nick throws the package at me, and I'm like, what the hell's this? Open it up, like, oh, it's my Yorlin shirt, yeah!
And of course, for those of you in the wider role-playing game community on the internet, a certain immersive battle map book has been dispersed worldwide, and 3 of the party members have theirs, including me and Tim.
That looks really cool.
That is huge.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not practical to travel with, but it's very.
Yeah, but it's
Sakuna, how are you, my friend?
What? Why is this not charging? Why do you not charge, machine?
Why are you charging him?
It's not turned on.
It's not turned on.
Let's turn it on.
How are you doing, mate?
Hello.
I gotta do a... What's everyone doing currently that they're being quiet about?
I am already preparing for next quest because I have no life and just felt like it.
You have a whole year.
I do.
I say that, but we're already preparing as well.
Yes. I have started doing something truly awful, but in a good way.
Which is?
Are you familiar with techniques for making pictures larger? Where you use a grid system and then you transfer each individual grid onto a larger piece of paper to make it more feasible.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I have a map of the old world of Warhammer, small 1A4 size. I've cut it up into grids that are each 1 centimeter, and I've got another piece of paper that's the same size as my old hand-drawn map of Althea. And I put on the same number of grids, but each of those grids is 2.6 centimeters. And now I'm going through grid by grid, piece by piece, redrawing by hand all of the pieces from the map of the old world.
That's crazy.
Because I want to have a big map. And
That is a lot of work, but yeah.
He's got all you, man.
Yeah, and I can add like individual details, like small notes, like this is where that little town in Tilia is, and this is where Sudenburg is. I just want to have it. My first time being a town librarian, people really enjoyed seeing the big, pretty hand-drawn map, and
I think so too. I think even if it's just a visual reference, people like to sort of, it's really
it's
cool
like,
stuff.
we're here, I'm from there.
Yeah, just a dash.
No.
So yes, that's what I've been up to. It's been fun. Oh, and I am preparing personnel files on my entire warband and persons of note inside Sudenburg. But don't tell them. Shh.
Don't tell them.
Don't tell them. Don't tell them.
Don't tell them.
Don't tell anybody.
Changed
Personnel
the
files.
So, on a weird note, did you get some random letters during the week of a pain camel picture?
I did. Why?
Because you insulted the Desert Rose.
And I apologized in letter
It's the
form.
Desert Rose. Do you really think she cares?
I apologized.
Doesn't matter.
Then she invited me to a poetry reading.
Yeah. Oh yes, that was what it was.
And I sat in the back and left as soon as was polite because I had no interest of outstaying my welcome. So I'm like, okay, this was nice. Bye.
Yeah, she decided that when you insulted her, she commissioned some pictures to be drawn of the pain camel and to be sent to you at random intervals throughout the week.
I received just the one.
Oh, okay. Did you get any of the scam letters?
No.
No?
I did. I did arrive.
So I was really
one
disappointed
morning.
because I got a quest letter that was someone was saying, "Don't let the underworld find out about this," and they had a bunch of meeting times down.
Yeah, they never turned up.
Never rocked up. Never bothered. Set up this
So
quest.
rude.
Actually put some work into it. Never did a thing.
Hey, Chris. Right there was a good example of the thing we just talked about before we went live.
Yeah, but we're not in the game.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Would you like to finish your story?
Yes. One time, I arrived to work in the library, and the pain camel was actually just there, in front of my shelves, and I went, "This is impractical." So what I did was move it and the skeleton that was inside of it around the back of the library and just left it there.
You probably shouldn't let anyone.
Oh, you mean at the event itself? Okay.
Yes, and
I was actually you work in Melbourne.
No, and I really enjoyed it. Like sitting there preparing for the day, hearing people out the back say, "What? The pain camel's here now? But how did that happen? That's impossible." And I'm like, "You fools! It's a piece of furniture. It can be moved." Oh, and also because I didn't want it to be functional anymore, I took out the pin that locks it and put it up the leg of the skeleton. Because, you know.
No, thank you very much.
Wasn't my... I never put the skeletons in the pain camel.
No.
I put actual human beings in the pain camel.
I saw.
Ah, Alice.
Sorry. I'll have to give you my knife.
Oh no, I need it.
A knife will solve the problem.
The day that you brought us the dwarf.
Don't take on knives if you're not solving a problem with that. Don't use the knife.
Yes.
The dwarf that had decided to start a war with us. We finally got him and we tortured him in the middle of the street.
That was on Monday.
Yeah.
I was
Day one.
I was sitting in the doorway to my library taking notes of the whole thing.
Yes.
That's how I knew to apologize to Dahlia immediately because like I was really playing the watch Sarah shouted to the crowd on any insult to the Desert Rose will be answered thusly, and I'm like, oh no, what have I done? So I had to fix it.
Alice.
I have returned.
Yes, can you please turn the volume up? The background music is currently playing, so just turn up. No, the behind you.
Oh, yes, if we are in the market for
That's right, I could actually adjust it on my side now.
Okay.
If we are in the market for shenanigans, I had a really good time at Quest watching the fight night in the casino.
Yeah, I wanted to go to one of those nights, and it was the night Melina was
The
fighting,
camera slightly towards me.
This one?
and I spent that entire time cooking dinner.
Oh, but
I was making stew, and
I
it
think it
took
got
me
bumped.
like 4 hours.
okay. So,
You could have just left and walked away.
well,
No, I couldn't because I had to make batches of potatoes. Else we wouldn't have been eating till midnight.
one of your guys was competing in the one that I went to against Jake, the big Sekonzan lad.
Oh, that was John
Yes, and
The defending champion.
Radomir.
the most amazing
Won his championship again.
thing happened in that fight is because it was like it was good. There was like good back and forth, lots of wrestling and like it was
I didn't get to
really
watch it this
interesting.
time because I was too busy staking out the meeting that didn't happen.
Oh dear.
See, they're just trying to stop you, winning all the money.
It's probably what it was.
Yeah.
A
In fact, it
distraction.
was probably just someone trying to send me on a goose
Well,
chase.
The really interesting thing that happened in that fight was when right after they like split from one of their grapples and tussles, Jake ran over to the ref and like shouted and pointed to the back, and the ref was like, "Oh no!" and ran into the back. Jake then went over to the casino sign, picked it up, and then like flopped onto his back and put the sign down on top of him as if his opponent had just grabbed the sign, smacked him with him, and he had been like brought to the floor. John then next leveled it, took the sign off Jake, then smacked it into the mat, and then did exactly the same thing to himself. Then out comes the ref, who's like, "What is this?" and just like scolds Jake out the door, and he's like, "What do you think you're doing? That's not okay." It was just amazing because they were both so dirty.
I love the fight night stuff.
I heard the stories of Melina's fight, which was hilarious. She first took on Luca. Won. Then was to verse a werewolf. But she didn't think the werewolf was fighting hard enough. So she basically kills the werewolf and goes, I want a challenge. So Jake the ogre stands up. And she ends up going toe-to-toe with him and winning that fight too.
He wrestled against Two Fingers on the same night as well.
No. He would pick up Two Fingers with his pinky and be like, "Get out of my way."
Yeah, but did you know that Two Fingers is ripped?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was one of our torture victims.
Yeah, but he's
Context.
he's flipping jacked.
That was a beautiful thing.
Oh, that was such a good... And Gabby, at the end, Coco, I was like,
Oh.
yeah, we're probably going to be at war with Musalon for this, but I don't care because that was amazing.
Oh, no. There's probably going to be no war out of it. I think it's all on me. I know that Craig has had like a word about, just don't expect, you might expect that you get shot one day. Not now, not next time, but just one day.
Just one day, you're just going to...
But for Craig, it's a lot of tongue-in-cheek.
It is, that's why...
I doubt he'll actually play it.
Oh,
He's
look,
having a good time.
everyone who got
Which is
involved...
just how Craig does it. Craig likes to go, "Yeah, we did that scene. It was fucking awesome. Great job, guys. All right, I had a shitload of fun. All right, fuck the consequences. I can't be bothered." Is just how Craig works with that sort of thing, which I actually think is a really cool way of playing it.
Oh, it's like all three of them, including three on top of the ones that we already had.
Yeah.
It was really funny because one of the to give everyone a bit of context who's actually watching this and paying attention, during the LARP that we did, as known by those who run the LARP and know what's going on, I run the Underworld. So it's a group of rogues, thieves, assassins, and so on and so forth. And I decided to basically put a who's got talent for torturers. And so I invited a whole heap of torturers along, at least the ones that I knew of anyway, because I'm pretty sure I didn't get all of them. I think we ended up with 5 in the end. And I got...
5 or 4?
We technically had the 3 Musalon.
The orc?
The orc and you technically.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And they all got together. We put them in. I had a special session inside the Shisha Den. I had 3 victims being role plays. Ash was one of them. That's why he had the sort of voice when he rocked up.
He turned up to the airport very red and no voice. And I was like, "Are you sick and sunburned?" He's like, "Nope, I was tortured." I was like, "Ah!"
Yeah.
What, from just screaming?
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much. Yeah.
The second victim was Two Fingers.
Second victim was Two Fingers. The third one was I keep forgetting his character name. He was playing the sadomasochist, so actually wanted to be there. He wanted to be tortured, which is funny because the orc didn't know what to do. He's like, he wants to be tortured.
That's where you don't torture him.
No. No. I found out the perfect way to deal with stuff like that because I managed to torture a dark elf. And what you do is you get someone of the Grey Wind to block out all pain receptors. Then you cut things off. They don't get any pleasure from it.
Gross.
What?
Yeah, but they also don't get any torture from it either.
They do because they're missing bits. Especially if it's an elf. You start cutting at their ears.
I don't like that much.
So yeah,
No,
part
you
of the
threaten with the ears and then cut something else off. Threaten with the ears.
Because I'm probably not going to be able to do this again because it's just one of those once-off things that then once the secret's out, then it loses its splendor when the secret's out. But out of the 5 people, I think it was 3 competitors and the others who sort of like joined in, sort of helped out a little bit. We decided to choose the winner. The prize for winning. As the leader of the underworld, yeah, I'm a bit of a shady figure. I'm not purely evil in any particular way, and I don't like torture all that much, but I do find that it is every once in a while a necessary tool. But I want to make sure that the torturer that I have understands exactly what they're getting into. So I then, because I've known Gabby for a while, she was the winner. I was hugging her as she was saying she was the winner. I gave her a hug. I whispered in her ear, "Do you trust me?" She's just nodded her head, and I've turned her around, pulled her down to a chair, held her arms back, and basically got the 3 victims to come out to torture her.
While we held the rest of the competitors at gunpoint.
Yes.
So they couldn't.
So all of the victims that they were torturing now came out and started torturing her. So it was a lot of fun. And because Gabby is, becoming a professional actor, essentially, she just screamed like no tomorrow. So I get a lot of people who what the fuck's going on?
I was told afterwards, it's what was
was
going on in the shisha den?
I was standing
you don't need to know.
I was standing outside talking to people, and they were like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Yodeling contest."
See,
Hey, James.
Amateur yodeling.
Amateur yodeling.
I missed out on all of this. All I got from it was all the stories, and one of my favorite ones was talking to the paramedics, and they had no idea, other than they'd been told there will be a torturing competition at some point, so the screaming, don't worry about it, it's planned. And they're like, all right, and then they hear screaming in the distance. They're like, fighting instincts, fighting instincts, fighting instincts.
It was so good.
I wasn't expecting the screams to be that good. I was like, it was because I thought of it basically on, I think we did it on Thursday night.
Yeah.
Thursday night? And I thought of it basically
Looks like Ash is here.
I thought of it on the Wednesday. We came up with this idea on Wednesday, or Tuesday, sorry. 2 days to plan all of it and just basically think about it. And not sure how it would have gone down.
I think some of the on-the-fly stuff turns out brilliantly. And it turns out really, really well, but we need to have a way to set up major events that aren't on the fly.
You interrupted me again.
But on the fly is fun.
But yes.
On the fly is fun, but...
It's hard to get more people.
It's more about doing it on the fly is not a problem. It's more about understanding what you need to do when you do it on the fly. Because some of it is pre-planned in a sense that I kind of had an idea and I knew exactly what I needed to do to get it organised. I knew I needed a time slot. I needed to organise it as as an event for the people who I had brought along. And after that, it was easy.
Yeah, true.
My biggest issue was finding the right NPCs, but I managed to get that too. So.
Hey.
But yeah,
I can hear you again.
That was so much fun.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello, my ragtime girl.
I hate that song.
Musical episode.
Never.
Come on.
Just tell
We
me
can't
what
do a musical episode. You realise that, right?
Yeah, but
we have to write the musical ourselves.
Just tell me just tell me what week it's on, and I won't be here.
What's the fun?
And that's why I keep mentioning it, because of how much you don't want to do it. So it's funny.
No interest.
Hello, my baby. Hello, my darling. Hello,
No
my
musical
ragtime girl.
episodes. Nada.
No music in his soul. None.
No, there isn't.
Oh well.
Just lucky one.
It's
And then
fine.
no.
I ended up in
I
another.
posted on the other
What
end.
about the rug delivery for Uncle?
I got to see that one finally. I didn't see it the very first time they did it last couple of quests ago.
Oh,
Because I got pulled in to the Mages Guild by Sarah going, "Oh, the witch hunters want us to help with something," and I'm like, "We
Yeah, but
were
they didn't-
literally just at war with the witch hunters. What the fuck is going on here?" So I get pulled into the Mages Guild. They've got 2 guys there from the Ancients that had a necromantic scroll, and we're like. I literally, the moment I was told they had a necromantic scroll, I'm like, "You're an idiot.
That's a problem.
You're gonna have to die now. Good luck."
You know.
So we ended up torturing them for a bit, and then after we killed 2 of them, and the 3rd one had shown up, and we started torturing him. Rona or Sam turned to me. He's like, Crimson Hand. I'm like, yeah. He's like, you can get rid of bodies, can't you? I'm like, I've got the perfect idea. I'll be back in a minute. Rush to the shisha den. I'm like, hey, who wants to do a rug delivery? And Ash just turns around and goes, really? I'm like, I need 2. And he's like, yes! Grab 2 rugs, rush back to the Mages Guild, wrap the 2 guys up in rugs, and then carry them off to the butchers.
No, wait.
Oh,
One was
God.
super skinny, he was about Chris's weight, and the other one was more like my weight.
I had a chat with...
So he was a 3 or 4
We have
person.
to do a legitimate thing. We have to do an advertisement before next quest.
I'm already
that says-
planning it.
That says
Rug delivery.
Shisha Den offering exclusive
Well,
rug delivery.
I
you know?
got an
Please
entire
inquire
warband
within.
tortured by the witches this quest. So they were putting out advertisements for mercenaries, saying we're mercenaries and we follow the Chaos Gods and we will happily work for free for anyone else who follows Chaos Gods. And I'm just reading this advertisement and saying, we're in Sudenburg. This is a very bad idea to put this advertisement out.
You're going to get arrested.
Pick it up. No, bugger arrested. Picked it up, walked into the Witches Guild, put it on their table, walked out.
You did that with, like, that thing from the Iaska as well, didn't you?
Yeah. Look, they were in so much trouble.
That was a typo. On his
Oh,
part.
we got a small little raid. How are
Hey.
you, Phoenix Kirai?
I can tell it
Hello
was
and
meant to
welcome
be,
and thank you.
like,
Loki's.
4 instead of of.
I like the spelling.
Well,
Loki,
you
double
got
E.
one of the words wrong, but you're like, yeah, let's run with it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
done.
I'm not going to stop Chris. He's going to have fun.
Yeah.
There's a lot of trouble
As long
about
as I don't have to do it, I'll set up situations.
We need to organise
That's the thing. I
a
don't
session
call
with
dagger
all of us
anymore.
during
I'm
the
a fence
week
and a
to
manipulator.
do a quest stories.
Yeah, I probably
Stream.
should do some.
Ash, is
Because
that a
it'd be
dib
amazing.
sim? Ah.
I don't even know
Yes,
that.
yes, it is.
No, I think it's about 2/3 of a dim sum.
Ah.
That looks very disconcerting.
It's pretty gross.
We haven't actually started our D&D session yet because unfortunately Ash, due to work, is the one that rocks up late.
Close the
He's
door.
the last person.
We can now start.
Yes.
we can.
Let him do his dice first.
Oh yeah, dice.
do your
roll it.
dice.
Let him. He needs to do his dice.
Yeah,
view.
dice lotion.
You'll understand, surely.
There we go. It's done now.
Spectacular.
There we go. All organised.
Now I can guarantee you guys still haven't actually got your minis all figured out. I know you two are fine.
I've got mine out there now.
Does Chris still have his out at all? Did he just give up?
We've got.
Oh, I've got the guy with the bag. Yep, excellent.
He's a bad guy.
What about the two? What about you? Where's yours? That is you. Okay, cool, sweet.
This is half the
Ash,
size of everything else, so yes, it has to be me.
All right, that's true.
Ash has mine.
Fine,
Pretty
yeah.
good.
It's a halfling.
So we do have everyone. Sweet
Or a
as.
halfling female can also be bum. That's the only way.
All right, cool. Let me just quickly get into the things we haven't done in quite some time. This was our little advertising, and go through all of that. And hopefully, I've got this all right. And something's actually it's nice to see that.
That's a hyperlink.
Nothing showing up on the right hand side until
Yes.
right now.
Let's wait.
So it should be starting off with our t-shirts, of which one of our t-shirts is currently being worn by Christian over there.
My Yorlin Memorial shirt.
Memorial.
Moment of silence.
Alright, we're done now.
Thanks, Karai. Thank you for adjusting my camera as well. Or not. It's like you can see outside here, sunny, sunny Melbourne.
The casting
The
goes
camera
on.
that's on
You can just imagine someone just like popping out of the screen and coming in behind the camera on the
directly on
window.
Christian because Nick's not here.
Oh, it doesn't matter for the moment.
Yeah, don't worry about it for
It's
now.
fine.
Anyway, as I said, that's our t-shirts. So if you are interested in looking at our particular t-shirts, they are going through Mick, who is not here. He has a web store, and that is the URL specifically for the Salty Dragon t-shirts that we do have.
I designed them all.
And yes, Alice is our designer for all of them so far. So
Yay!
in fact, Alice is the designer of pretty much all of the graphics and everything else we have at this particular place. So she just done a
I also have
fantastic
to
job.
say these shirts are really comfortable.
They are actually
They
really
are
good
so
quality.
soft.
They're nice
And,
fabric.
like even what I really like, because I actually got some t-shirts from a different store a while ago, and the quality just wasn't that great. They were like those really crappy plasticky ion transfers.
Yeah, no, this is like full on proper
Yeah, the
painted.
full on-
Yeah, they're
yeah.
proper printed, like properly t-shirt printed.
So yeah,
not
they're
like
actually
iron-on.
really good quality t-shirts. Even if you're just looking at getting some cool little t-shirts and whatnot, and supporting Alice and her art and stuff like that,
Thank
which is what's
you.
really cool. All right, so where am I? I think the next one is Sirenscape, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
We still got to talk. I sent them an email, so they haven't a response from them yet. But we caught up with them during PAX actually,
Yeah, they're pretty
and said hello and told them that we actually use Sirenscape on the stream. So the audio and music that we use during the stream is mostly from Sirenscape. The other group that we also use is tabletopaudio.com.
Oh my
Great
God.
little place.
I forgot about the Shazoo! The dancing bear!
Modeled on
It's
Ash.
so long!
Modeled on Ash, I think.
Yeah.
Model on Ash, yeah. I think it's a model on a lot of us. Big boys
Not
club.
me.
Big boys club. All right, that's Sirenscape, and we are happy to promote them, and they are cool stuff. If you want to run D&D games and have some audio going in the background, highly recommended. Just like even there's just like some musics you want to go through, or if you want to get into a bit more intricacies, there's a whole heap of options for that place. So Sirenscape, worthwhile. We also like to do a shout out to rollwithadvantage.com.au. It's an Australian dice web store who sent us a while ago some samples of their dice for us to advertise, and since then we've decided that not a problem, we'll just keep shouting them out, and they have options for people for overseas deliveries and stuff like that. So check them out, and they've got some really cool stuff going.
They're a different company.
There's a whole heap of companies. Oh my god, going to PAX.
Yeah.
They got
Yeah, like
tons from
these.
that.
I don't know. I don't even know what store they were. I was just on the way out of the packs. I'm like,
Oh, they're
$50
sick.
for metal dice. Sure, let's go.
There was a lot of dice. It's like the rings and necklaces of the nerd
That was
kingdom.
Random Encounter.
No.
No, it was a different one.
No, I got
No,
dice
that's
from
different. It was a
before
different
those.
stall. It was like down to the right.
because I got
It's
rainbow
right
dice.
It is the truffle shuffle, yes. All right, and last but not least, if you do live in Melbourne or coming to Melbourne from another state or another country, on a Monday night, me and some other Dungeon Masters, including Ash here now, who's becoming one of the regulars, we run Dungeons and Dragons. It is a $10 buy-in for coming as a player. It suits the particular people who are struggling to get themselves groups, or for those who are really nerdy and like just Dungeons and Dragons so much that they come along anyway, which Nick does.
Twice a week.
Twice a week. Or, because we have like shift workers that can't do regular groups and stuff like that, so it's perfect for that.
It's even a good place to sleep.
Yeah. The music is soothing and whatnot.
Yeah, no, I fell asleep.
Oh, and the burgers there are
The
so...
burgers are good.
Oh my god. Okay, so I can't remember who it was that told me the burgers were good,
Man.
but I was like, yeah, you know what? I'll have one. Yeah, sure, I can't make up my mind. Oh boy.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
they're really good.
I wanted another one after that, and I was already full. It was good.
They are some of the
It's
best
good.
burgers I've ever had at a pub. They're like absolutely fantastic. So Tramway Hotel, which is in Fitzroy, which is in Melbourne. So if you're ever in this particular part of the world, Jeremy is the one who runs it. So that's his email there. Just shout out that you want to book in and come in, and we have some great Dungeon Masters in this group. So absolutely recommend coming along.
Like Grant. He's a good dungeon master.
Grant is hilarious. I had a table of 8 the other day. It almost became 9, but Ray didn't turn up. It was a lot, yeah. And because the reason why that happens is because one of the Dungeon Masters didn't get their regular people come along, which is very common, unfortunately, for the Monday nights. It's for those who just struggle with doing the regular. So him and one other that he normally has are the only 2 that turned up. So they decided, well, let's come jump to my table. And they've done it before with a particular character.
So they have established characters.
So it's a DM who doesn't get to play all that much. So when he gets to play,
He's over the top.
he is over the top. Yeah, he's also got like an acting background as well too.
Okay.
So he really gets into it.
I mean, we got to see that last week with you, Tim,
Exactly. Yeah.
being a player.
Yeah.
He calls himself Grant, and he's a druid who's absolutely disgusting.
Dwarven druid who is a druid of the spores.
Oh.
So he's got like he's a dwarf. So he's got like a
He's got a
mushroom
mushroom
spore
growing
growing
out
out
of
of
his
his ear and stuff like that.
Oh god.
And it's all about him defecating and everything.
Everything is a
Jeez,
shit show.
Lord.
Moving on. Moving swiftly.
It's hilarious. You have to be. He's not like constantly defecating everything. It's just every once in a while he's just like.
It's like Scanlan level of like, I'm just gonna poop on that bed.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, pretty much. All right.
Good heavens.
He's a lot of fun, and that was chaos and fun. Chaos and fun. All right.
I have no idea what happened. I was asleep.
Yeah, you were asleep for half of it, yeah.
It's like, wake up the sleeping druid. What? Oh, roll. Okay.
It's dead.
Poison spray. Darn.
You work
Alright.
too much.
Let us start Sunday nights.
Bum, bum, bum.
It has been 3 weeks, so we have to sort of do a bit of a catch-up for not only the players at my table, but also for everyone else who's come along. So I will chuck on some town noises from Siriuscape itself I'd like to put forward. And then from there, we shall...
I'm so excited.
It's been a while, hasn't it? 3
Maybe
weeks.
a quick cap because I really want to get into playing.
I know. Right.
Oh,
The party have come to the city of the Black City itself. The final last... What did I say?
Stop it.
The final location of their hunt for the death cult known as Xanafelt. They have been exploring the city quite considerably, including talking to some religious people in religious district, finding one of the victims of this cult, and then getting her to come back to their little house that they have put together to do some experimentation and figure out what this thing is. From this, they have learned that the entity that was inside this victim is actually sentient and potentially even part of a hive mind of the god of Xanafelt himself. However, they've been exploring it as much as they can and only been getting so far. They've been looking at other ways to get into either the Nobles district in the city itself, which has been very difficult to get into, or into other areas, including the Plague district, which has mostly been sealed off. They've been investigating a interesting set of murders as well. Potentially a serial killer of some type. They have found 2 or 3 corpses so far of bodies that have been cut open just under the abdomen, had most of their internal organs removed and then placed on top of their body in the exact same position where they would normally lay inside. They have investigated this so far, but their leads have not been very much so far. They have now talked to a group of people who have hid themselves under rags, who are actually a kobold demolitions crew, for lack of a better way of putting it. They create tunnels in the Undercity itself to sort of create a sewer network for whoever wants to hire them for the city. However, in talking to them, they found out that the Bretons were hiring them to create tunnels in the city, create sewer networks, and then once Moussalon came along, the funding dried up, and they no longer built tunnels, basically. But they stayed in town, and they've had a talk with them so far, and found out that they actually have tunnels to both the Nobles district, as well as to the Plague district. They have said so far that the Nobles district is currently not available. They also said that the Plague district is also not available, mainly because the Plague district has some sort of tunnels that intersected with the tunnels that they built, and there's some creatures out there they're not quite sure what they are. Didn't want to check them out, and decided that, no, not going to do it. And that's where the party is currently. I'm going to assume you guys sitting all in your house.
Didn't we also get a contact who was willing to sponsor us into the Nobles?
You did? You did.
It would take a couple of days, though.
That was going to take a few days, so you were happy to wait for that one.
Yes.
But you do know that there is tunnels from the Kobolds into the Nobles district as well. But you have talked to a noble, and you are going to get something for it.
Were these sewers that were being built the same ones as the ones that were on the lock and clean? No, they were the waterways.
They were the waterways, so a different thing again.
Yeah.
So they've managed to find that in the northern part of the city, there's this interesting set of quays, however you pronounce it, keys,
Yeah.
that divert water from the river to spread across the city and act kind of like a waterway through the streets and whatnot to wash away a lot of the refuse and stuff like that.
It's like a canal gate.
Yeah, and it's locked up currently, and has been locked up for quite some time to make the streets become dirtier and dirtier and dirtier and more disease-ridden.
It's basically the flush of the city.
It is basically the flush of the city, yes.
And someone's broken the toilet.
No, just
Someone's
the flush.
locked the toilet.
Someone locked the damn toilet.
No, it's just like someone's removed the chain that, makes the flush work.
Yeah, that's a very good way of putting it.
You know?
So the cistern is full, but there is no chain.
No.
It works, but, it's missing a bit.
Okay.
So it doesn't work.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So,
in the downtime we've spent, I assume a number of us have also been going to the religious district for some mornings. Was there any further news of other similar beastie attacks?
For most of the time you guys have had a downtime, so I think it was 9 days you guys had downtime for. There has been relatively few, if any at all. Mostly dealing with those who are stuck out during the night to sort of give them shelter for the night before they go back home.
And alternatively, have I found anything that looks nice to rob?
Get to that eventually.
And the temple to Moradin, that had already been started.
It had already been started, the Temple of Moradin, yes, so you've already talked to the council, they're gone out, that's not a problem. It was more about just the logistics of what you wanted to do.
At the moment they're setting up a plot and we're talking semantics about, structure and what
so you start talking to them for a bit like in your downtime and stuff like that, and you got kind of like a little bit of politics gets involved, how big, that's just too big, that's just going to block the site, so on and so forth, you got to pushing back and forth about what you want to build, so on and so forth. But
Amber's very malleable in a conversation, so she wouldn't push too much.
Yeah.
But within her boundaries, she's like, no, but it has to have this.
Well,
she's essentially going to be fighting for a spot where you can see the fire tower in the distance. Mm-hmm. So the big beacon.
The biggest issue you have with it, I know exactly what you're trying to do. You're trying to get the look of Moradin to.
Well, I was thinking just the anvil.
Just the anvil,
the shape, but the building is almost like it's a shape of an anvil.
Yeah, so it basically is in front of the big tower, which has got the...
Not directly in front of it. It can be in a distance way, but it needs to be like visible from the front of the temple.
So, because it's all about perspective. Like, how far away are we talking here? Like, the further away it is to give you the view you're trying to obtain, means it has to actually be bigger to match the height of the thing. So if you're doing it from the entrance of the religious district itself, then it doesn't have to be so tall because it's going it from a small angle. So if that's what you're aiming for, that's generally not a problem. However, if you say from a distance without, knowing exactly what that's going to be, we're talking about when you enter the city.
No. Still in the religious district. Yeah. Definitely still in the district.
She's both, yeah? Anything's from a distance.
Yeah.
Everything's a distance.
And this is the type of conversations you actually will be having with all the other denizens who are thinking big. Thinking you're going to make this big, giant, 20-foot tall dwarven statue to Moradin. They're all trying to be polite about, the fact that Moradin is a great god of the dwarves and stuff like that, and they're all trying to be really delicately nice and stuff like that, and trying to tell you no in the most delicate possible way they can because they think you want to put a 20-foot tall dwarf in the city of the religious district.
When the reality is she just wants a little statue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh god, it's Prince Eric.
Oh no! 5-to-1 scale, 20 feet.
Well, meanwhile, Rodpor is sitting in the kitchen playing skeet shooting with his crossbow and a bunch of good berries.
Are you kidding? No! We've already established Rowan only ever gives you one.
Well, whatever food he can find, he's eating, then throwing some of it and shooting it in the air.
You don't shoot with the products of my magics.
I was going to use those chops for dinner, but whatever.
The tenderized.
And airborne.
He just pulls it off the wall and you just hear a rip as he's yanking a leg of lamb off the wall. You beat meat with hammer to tenderize it anyway, don't you?
Yes, hammer, not
hammer,
pointy
arrows,
stick thing.
Hammer, pointy stick thing. Whatever. Here's your
it's
meat
not
back.
Quite. But it's also now got wall flavor.
Wall flavor's good.
Not in this city. It's not
better than floor flavor.
Still not better in this city.
Alright.
Everything tastes like burnt.
And mold! I called down from upstairs.
Have we gotten any further in our research regarding the plague at all?
Not really, no. You talk to Xenofeld every once in a while. He kind of ignores you a lot of the time these days.
Oh no, we've already established that we're just reciting the...
Yeah, now I'm just
Book of
annoying him with the
Calibor.
Book of Calibor because I'm like, fuck you.
And Amber insists that you do it in her presence so that she can listen to you talk about it while she's working on stuff at the station.
Yeah.
They've learned that because they have a sample of the black goo which infected one of the sick people in the religious district. With this black bit of goo in the vial that they have, they're able to actually, with a few spells, I think, be able to connect and talk to it, and
It's
actually
sentient.
and basically find out it was sentient and stuff like that, and part of a hive mind which they believe is connected to Xenophalt
So
themselves.
he found out it had thoughts.
Yes.
But he couldn't tell what the thoughts were. So I figured, well, it has thoughts. Let's see if it can talk. It cast tongues.
Yep.
Flawless victory.
And it spoke to me.
That's
and now
not
you're
creepy at
speaking
all.
to it, and it's wishing it never spoke in the first place.
Precisely.
Oddclaw is being super helpful in the investigation with his own scientific experiments. Things like, oh, maybe it's allergic to cats, and rips out some fur and just sprinkles it in. Just generally being a pain in the ass to everyone involved, not just them.
Dear
Oh,
me.
yes.
I feel like I swat you away from my station a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
Yeah, it's because he precariously balances
Yeah.
himself on top of your workbench and every now and again touches the vial and starts moving it towards the edge while death
This is
staring.
No, it's not that. It's more just general curiosity of, what's this one? What's it taste like?
And,
What
and
does it
because
do?
he probably doesn't even care about personal space, so when he's asking, what does this do, what does this do, he's like right up next
Yeah,
to the
Oh, you mean like it's literally just
What's this?
I imagine
What's
at this
one?
point, Amber doesn't even like acknowledge him anymore. She just has like a ruler or a stick or something and she goes swat.
it's a fly swatter.
Thwack, thwack. Like, so if he goes to touch something, she just goes smack.
I imagine
No
if he thinks
touch.
to do it to Imperius,
And half the
just
time he
cast
just takes that
silence.
as a challenge.
But you know what? Amber finds it fun anyway.
Actually, I'm sorry, I gotta do it. That was a 16 before it flipped, so let's re-roll. 14 plus 10. On a 24 is how much of your stuff you notice start going missing.
But what do I need to roll to see?
Perception.
Perception.
Perception?
There's no way for you to get 24.
Yes.
I don't notice
You're
a
my-
thing.
Yeah, some of the things are just starting to
Question
disappear.
is, does Rowan notice?
Oh, see, Amber doesn't care if her bits and bobs go missing. It's more like she's concentrated on like her.
Yeah, so it's just random shit that
Yeah.
you're paying
The
attention to.
little bits and bobs. She's like, whatever. She's like, oh, where did that little doodaddy go? Oh, well, it's
So-
fine. This doodad
And
will work.
meanwhile, he's sitting in the corner with a corkscrew, just studying it.
But
You probably find like the ink and quill that you used to write out a lot of your notes and stuff like that. It just changed. Like it used to be a white feather, now it's a black and white feather.
Yeah.
Now it's a brown feather.
No, let's be honest. She doesn't notice. All she notices is go, it's not as worn in as my last. As I remember it.
Suddenly there's like this big
Oh,
giant peacock feather.
I replace everything I destroy with stolen goods.
It sounds about right. Let's be honest. This is our dynamic.
All right. So you guys are aware that you last time, because it's been 3 weeks. So you guys were aware last time that you decided that you wanted to go traverse the tunnels
Yes.
and head towards
Yes.
the Plague District. So you guys can head along and chat to the Kobold.
Probably would have spent a couple of days preparing for that.
Yes, so I'm going to assume you guys are preparing for whatever you need to
at
prepare
least
for.
a day, which means I can change my spells.
You notice that Oddclaw's not preparing. He's just getting increasingly more nervous.
So, we're going
Probably
underground.
change spells.
Yeah.
Oh, how many
Should I
smoke
find a
bombs
steed?
would I have at this point?
I think you should find a steed.
I think I should
Maybe
find it.
2 or 3?
We still haven't established that properly, so I'm just going to say
Yeah.
one.
One? Okay.
Hey, who was that in that meeting with the kobolds? I feel like somebody mentioned there being lots of powerful magic on the walls. Is that a thing?
I was not there.
I feel like
I
I
think-
was not.
I think the giant wall to the plague district is magic. I'm gonna make sure. it
Oh,
works.
yeah, I know about that.
Yeah?
There was the man who climbed it, and his corpse fell down the next day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was just like a story. Okay, I'm prepared. I just need to.
Be prepared.
Don't remember where I was writing my items in inventory.
Okay, it's probably fine.
So, Oddclaw's version of preparation is ripping out tufts of his own fur and wrapping leather cords around his own claws on his feet so that they don't clack when he walks.
Hey,
Be
DM,
very quiet.
what steed can I find?
Didn't we already do that?
It was a pig and it died.
A boar.
That's right.
It was a boar. It was just found previously.
Get the spider.
It
Giant
was like it
spider.
tasted very nice.
What
Yeah.
choices do you have again?
General steed animals.
Large mounts. So like,
Says warhorse, pony, camel, elk, or mastiff, or your GM might allow other animals to be summoned.
For the time being, because you just sprung it on me and I'm not really focused on it, I'm going to say a mastiff probably work in this place.
that'd be cute.
Okay, we work this into the story somehow.
Big dog.
Okay, so they said it was a tunnel that we'd be going through to get to this dodgy place.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay, guys. I have prepared a wonderful spell for the job.
I don't like tunnels. I can't scout it out.
What spell?
Do you remember that time we were in the dwarven place and all those metal people came
Metal
out,
people?
and we were all like, "I am going to." They weren't talking, but they were terrifying. And
I mean, I don't remember. I wasn't there for that.
Well, for those who were there, I panicked and I made all the earth just erupt into giant spikes that hit them. That
Sounds fun.
it's definitely a safe thing to do underground.
What?
I think you should rethink that train of thought.
Why not? It'll be fine.
Well, we're ready, aren't we? We should
Yes,
just
I think
go.
we're ready to go on.
Yes.
Nemia's pooping again, but we can move on.
He'll be there for days.
The running joke of a beard going for a poop because he's not here again.
That man has irritable bowel
Yeah, he
syndrome.
does. He runs a blessed room, yes.
Obviously, while Amir's not around, Dogclaw has gone through all his stuff.
Twice.
Twice.
Alright, so you guys have decided to head down into the tunnels. Are you going to talk to the kobold first about anything before you go, or just happy just to hop in?
Well, I think we got a lot of the answers to questions we had. So
Just as long as you guys have the answers you need, that's all good.
We should probably ask about what they think might be down there or any other problems we might encounter.
and where the tunnel comes out.
Do
I
they
suppose.
have a map?
Yes, a map would be really handy.
A map.
I shall go. Who come?
Well,
I mean,
think we're all going.
We're all going in, so let's just have a chat right before we go in.
Alright.
Alright, so you guys head to the little house that the kobolds have absconded to themselves. Of course, you go to the front door of this house and you see there's a whole heap of other people sort of in various states of passed out, lying in gutters and against the building in the general area. The two kobold guards who are wrapped in the rags and stuff like that to hide their features, they're at the front door. They recognize you. Recognize you.
I feel like they'd recognize me if I went, but I left earlier last time.
They probably do recognize you. So.
Yeah, you stood out the front for a bit.
Oh, they also got really unhappy with me having my axe.
Yeah.
Well, they know exactly what you're doing this time, so this time they're allowed to hop in with their axe. What they do is go.
Well, Amber'd be a lot more relaxed this time too. She wouldn't be as threatening.
So who you bringing?
Pardon?
Who you bringing?
And this is the rest of my group.
They probably don't
And who are
want
they?
us all in.
Who are they?
I'm Oddclaw.
What about you?
I was the cat that one time.
The what?
The cat.
What
He's
cat?
a druid.
No, Rowan.
Do you have a name?
Name's Rowan.
I mean, I was the
Antoine,
cat just a little bit.
And you know Amber already.
Alright, so they're under your jurisdiction, is that right?
Yes.
Alright.
That's a big word.
Yes, it means authority. That's also a big word.
Yours has
Oddclaw's nose is wrinkling slightly. His teeth are starting to bare. Just the fact of you having ownership over him is... He's not going to say anything, but you can tell he just
Also,
is not impressed.
aren't kobolds kind of
Sounds
like
twitchy.
dog people?
Yeah, little bitty,
lizard
lizard
people.
dragony sort of people are about 3 feet tall.
I always imagine them as dog-esque.
They got a little bit of that, but also imagine if you got a lizard and a dog sort of mixed them together and then it stood on hind legs.
Puffo lizard.
Yeah,
Okay.
just a fucked up reptile-y, sort of furry, fucked
They're
up
more
thing.
akin. They're more akin to dragon blood than they are anything else.
Yeah.
Imagine a German Shepherd right, mixed with a human, but it's got mange and scales.
Gross.
Look, I worked at a shelter for a while. That's bringing up some really bad memories.
I'm sorry.
We'll move on from there.
It's close, isn't it? It's pretty bloody close.
Jesus. Alright, so you guys head on in. You head upstairs first to sort of just give you,
Yeah.
say that we're here and this is what we're here to do, to 6. So, good to see you. What do you want?
We were wondering if you'd let us into the tunnels that lead to the quarantine district. We want to go down there and see what's in the tunnels and deal with it if possible.
I think if I remember correctly last time, but I didn't pay attention to the extra stream itself, I think we already agreed to that. I think you paid the price. I think 50 gold, throughout, and you paid that already. So you're more than welcome to go down there.
Do you have any sort of map of the tunnels?
We haven't had a map in that place for quite some time. We were too busy making the tunnels that we didn't actually get to a map. It is essentially a straight line towards the district.
Do you have any paper and pens? I can make my own.
Well, we got some here. Here you go. Ink and vial and some paper.
Thank you.
It's just like taking more than was sort of offered. So just,
How do you take more when he's actually handing it to
but
you?
he points it out, and instead of picking up the resources required, he picks up the resources required and a little bit more. And a bit more, like it gets to that little bit awkward.
It's more like that. He pulls out a leaf, a
okay.
massive leaf of papers, and he's like handing it to you.
Oh, I just take the whole thing.
Exactly. That's more like instead of taking a couple off the top,
just the whole
you
thing.
decided like
Thank you.
6. I'm curious. When was the last time you have used the tunnels?
Well, to the northeast, to the Nobles district, we've used it quite a lot.
What about the south one?
Well, we haven't actually. It's more like southwest, west-east, or like in direction. But yeah, we haven't done that place for a while.
Do you know what else we could potentially be running into down there?
All I know is that we heard some noises and heard some scraping of some rock, claws on rock or something like that. And we kind of like, wait, no, we ain't doing that shit, and then left this place.
Look, the last time we...
Chris, what are you doing?
Sorry, I was putting on Twitch.
The last time we went into the sewers, I will admit it was a little bit gooey. We did get some, anyway, well, yes, scratching noises, that doesn't sound too promising, I suppose.
Well, we're kind of like little folk, We don't,
I mean,
well
have
of
you
tall
looked
folk,
at me?
but they're a head smaller than you.
I'm 4 feet tall.
They're
I
3
know.
feet tall.
Yeah.
He's the only one that's probably mentioning that.
They're my brothers from another mother.
Yeah.
Not too much
They gotta
bigger
give
than
you gang
yourself.
signs.
How do you do a gang sign K?
They got like 3 claws that sort of like just come out.
Oh.
Come on.
Uncover.
A couple gang signs. Yeah.
I feel like we probably just insulted someone.
Yeah, we probably.
Probably.
What's the
Anyway, let's move on.
Oh, that was from the Khmer Rouge? Oh, shit. Sorry.
My
Does
spells
he
are not
pole?
bad.
Guys, you got any questions?
Fine.
I think that was about it.
Anything we should be wary of down there? Like traps or
Well, we
Roll
haven't
down
put any
walls
traps
or-
in ourselves. We were going to. It was one of those things we're going to do as like an insurance policy, but we kind of like got down there, and after that, no, don't want to deal with that shit place.
That is a good question. How much shit is there?
You mean literal shit? Well, it never got turned into a pop sewer, so there's probably nothing down there.
Excellent.
I was going to say,
Is it
shit
just-
or we? Pick.
Well, other than maybe the odd kobold going down there, going for a piss and shit.
Oh, I have a question.
Yes,
How are you?
I'm doing all right.
Ah, okay. I'm glad.
I'm kind of interested to see what you guys managed to do with this tunnel.
When in doubt, fireball.
Well, shall we?
I can't see any real reason to delay.
is there a good time of day we should go?
Oh, yeah.
When you're awake,
That's a fair call, yeah.
Big
Wouldn't want to go down there sleeping.
the tunnels that we directly
It's a
built
tunnel.
to the district are around about 10 feet wide.
How high?
about 10 feet high.
Oh, good.
It's a square.
Yeah, ergonomics and all that type of stuff.
I mean,
I'm calling bullshit on kobolds not laying traps, by the way. They're kobolds.
Inside check for traps.
Yeah, but hang on. Amber's not smart enough
Yeah, I
to
know.
think
Yeah.
they're not telling the truth.
And I've never seen a kobold before, so.
Amber is highly
And
gullible.
they can transform into.
I just don't like their smell.
No, they're
Yeah,
not beasts.
fair. Amber can't tell the difference.
It all smells like shit.
Everything smells like sulfur.
That's
Shall we?
yes.
Yes, let us head on.
Right, let's go.
All right, so you are shown down to the basement of this particular building that they are in. Saying particular again. They open up a trapdoor, and you
Nope,
can
it's
see.
a trap already.
A trapdoor.
And as the very first person walks
As they
down,
open it, the crossbow bolts fly out wildly.
God damn, forgot that one.
Whoops, caught red hand.
You see as he's opening up, he's got like his finger on a button.
Trap the door.
Diabolical.
Diabolical.
So, these smells.
It's earthy.
Prestidigitation. Fish.
This smells good.
As you descend into the tunnels themselves, there's essentially a rope ladder that they've put down. And as you notice that once you've all climbed down into the tunnels themselves, they pull the rope ladder back up. So there's
How are we meant to get back out of here?
Don't do that. Put the rope.
What do you want? Just knock on the rock here a couple times.
Can you leave the rope ladder down, please?
No, I don't know what thing's gonna follow you and come back.
All
Is it
right.
right?
And you see Oddclaw has gone from usually into control to
So-
borderline panicking.
Before they close the thing and we're shut in the dark, I quickly grab a rock and cast light on it.
Yeah.
And just go, okay.
As the light spell lights up the tunnels themselves, what you actually see is that on almost every 10 feet section, from what you can gather, these kobolds have actually done a pretty good job putting this tunnel together. Obviously, they work, because obviously they just have a lot of time on their hands and work around the clock to get this tunnel going. So there's a lot of brickwork that they put together. And the brickworks are done in those sort of slight columns on the side every 10 feet, and then arched way in between all of them. So from the above you, left and right, as well as in a diagonal. And all of the bricks that are put together are done in such a way that the physics gets involved and they just all sort of sit in place without any mortar or anything like that. Obviously, there's a little bit of mortar in there to sort of just help them along the way with putting everything in place. But this is actually really well done. These guys have got a really good professional job sort of going. Which surprises the utter crap out of those who know what kobolds are like. So, very surprising sort of set of circumstances you got. And you're impressed
I
because...
was going to say, does Amber know the work of a kobold?
No,
Like the
probably
typical
not.
Because
You've
compared to dwarven work, it's pretty good.
It's for the creatures that they are and what you know of them so far, which is very little. But because of the situation that you found yourself into, knowing these particular kobolds, they don't come across as artistic types. And this, at least from what you can gather from what you've seen of the kobolds so far, looks really good compared to what they are. Like it's not dwarven quality. It's not to that level, but you're impressed with what little they have and how small they are.
Amber would probably go straight up to one of the walls and inspect and go, not bad for little creatures.
Yeah,
For a shit pipe, this is actually pretty nice.
they're 3 feet tall and made 10-foot ceilings. That's very impressive.
Well, if they're one on top of
It's
the
more the
other,
fact
isn't
that-
that 9 feet?
They're normally
So
basically
there's 6 feet.
rabid animals.
No, there's
so
3 of them.
Them being
Is it
able
one
to
on
create
top of
something
the
of this
On top of the other.
level, pardon me,
One on top of
level is
No.
quite
One on top of the
Impressive.
other on top of the other means through, it's
that's
9
9
feet. Yeah. Sorry.
They're rabid
But
animals.
If you want the kobold to actually get to like 9-10 feet tall, one on top of the other, like three kobolds on top of the other, is not really practical because the third one on top is really going to struggle to sort of stand there and hold and put bricks up. No, it'll be more of a pyramid formation.
It's called a battle stack.
starts off 5 kobolds wide.
No, it'd be 9. It'd be 5 kobolds work, so it'd be like 15 kobolds or something like that. 25 kobolds, sorry, at the bottom.
I'm immediately going to head back towards the entrance and just considering there's no mortar in the cracks, can I at least get my claws in and climb it relatively easy?
Yeah, this is very easy to climb.
Right.
Very easy.
I climb up a good 10 feet and go,
Alright, good. Can still get out.
and I let go and just drop to the ground.
Yep.
Watch out, this bad cat.
Seems a little bit calmer now that he knows he can still get out.
So, onwards.
Forward then?
I suppose you first. You got the light.
Well, someone else can have this one, and I throw it to someone.
Oh,
And I pull out my mace and make it illuminate and then start moving forward.
I actually prefer no light.
I can't see shit in the dark.
That's fair.
You
So I keep
can't.
walking.
You can't see the way you're walking either.
Yes, Amber. That's precisely what I meant.
Mick would be proud.
Yes, but Amber would genuinely be like, "No, you can't see the shit or the path in front of you."
As you guys are travelling along this path, heading in what you think is the right direction, in a westerly direction towards the
She's a bit
district,
stupid.
because the tunnel does go both ways. And you realise that where you are located when you start these tunnels, you have to travel a fair distance. You're essentially travelling the distance of the city almost entirely. So you're walking probably for a good hour.
Is there any offshoots or anything like that?
There is nothing. This is
So
a
it's literally
direct
just
tunnel.
solid rock?
Yeah.
Is there any ventilation or anything in the ceiling at all?
Every once in a while, you do notice that there is a set of brickwork that obviously goes to the top. It's not a great, like a typical sewer. Obviously, they've done it in such a way that, from what you've been having a discussion with and previously, because it's been 3 weeks ago, you probably can't remember. This part of the tunnel was not the sewers. That's what you really got to get into your mind. This is just a tunnel they built for the purposes of their needs.
Yeah.
So the holes that are going up to the surface are hidden, so that they don't represent typical sewer grates and stuff like that. But there is definitely a musty and dusty smell about the whole place. It doesn't get used all that much, especially going this way.
Stale air, probably.
Stale air, yeah.
We are headed towards the Plague District, yes?
Yes.
Can you
Are
make
we?
it smell a little bit more like, I don't know,
Fish?
fields, a city, the ocean, something that's not so cramped?
I don't know. I'm feeling a little homey down here.
I want to be back on the surface sooner rather than later, so can we please move?
Yes, yes.
Yes.
Move that way over.
Power walking.
Stank downhill.
Is it like flat, or are we going with the terrain of the city?
There is a certain amount of going with the terrain of the city, so as you are heading out west, you notice that tunnels do descend ever so slightly.
Okay.
I presume they would also. Well, how deep are we?
You are currently, when you entered into the tunnel itself, it would have been roughly 2 or 3 feet of dirt and rock and brick between the house and the actual tunnel. But you notice that from here, they built it that way specifically to go towards that house.
Did we?
And as you travel further down, it's going deeper, and you can feel it going deeper and deeper. You
So-
definitely can feel it going deeper and deeper.
Did we go in from a basement?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was trying to figure out, because I'm trying to. If it's straight, eventually we'd hit someone's basement if we were on that level.
Yeah.
So we're below.
You've
the
gone into a
level.
basement first, and then from the
Yeah,
basement you've
okay.
gone into this lower section, this lower tunnel. Hey, Dilly. So you are heading off down the tunnel. As I said, it's been a good hour, you think, that you've been travelling through here. You notice along the walls there is like small little sconces for torches that have been put in place. Some of them are rusted, some of them are a bit bent, some of them are a bit broken. And from, especially you have a bit of a look as you're going over them. They look like they've stolen half of these from various places. A lot of them don't even match in style. It's all just like, we need sconces here, and we need them to be
Amber's
functional.
probably just
They're
walking on
rusty
and
old.
oh, that one is of elven design.
Yeah, something like that.
And that one's dwarven. I wonder where
There's
they
like
got
another
that
one
from.
that's just like a wooden box.
Yeah. That's clearly human.
I was gonna say, I imagine the dwarven one, she's just like, pulls it off the wall. No.
Possibly.
Tries to pull it off the wall.
Yeah. You pull one of the dwarven sconces off the wall, and then you hear this. No, I'm just kidding.
And I'd be like, that'd be about right.
Is that trap?
You come.
It's an hidden door.
For those who can see beyond, anyone can see beyond 60 feet dark vision?
No,
No, not beyond.
none of us are
We all have
deep gnomes, so no.
Okay, so you're all just basically the same sort of vision.
Yeah, also,
Give or take. Okay. I know that potentially Mick can, but he's not here, so no, you won't. Unless you're like a warlock or something else.
It's just a kitty.
I just have normal dark vision.
Yeah. There is.
There's only two things that are. There's basically dark elves.
No, I'm aware of that.
warlocks.
I'm just like, where is my
And
vision?
deep
on
gnomes.
this?
And deep gnomes,
Yeah,
yes.
also have superior
If
dark
you don't
vision.
have dark vision, it won't state what your vision is.
Give me a sec.
And I stick on my hat of disguise,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm just
Hold up.
start slowly changing into a kobold, just in case there's something down here that.
a very tall kobold.
You're a very two o'clock.
No, the top half of myself is invisible, so the bottom half is a kobold, but my height
Doesn't work like that.
Yeah,
Doesn't-
no.
You
Is
can
that,
only
not how,
do.
is that only disguise self, not hat of disguise?
You
Both
can
of them are the same.
still only do 1 foot taller
In
or
that case,
shorter.
in that case, I won't bother
Yeah.
because there's no point.
You can do a. How tall are you?
I'm like 6 foot.
Yeah, you can do a 5 foot tall kobold or a 7 foot tall kobold.
No, it's a giant kobold
It would be hilarious, a 7-foot kobold.
and terrifying.
Yes.
I am the Alpha.
All right, so you guys are heading off down the tunnel. I've said this so many times. Just keep asking all these questions. You notice, especially you, because you have the high passive perception, that the stale air and the non-moving changes ever so slightly.
What?
For better or worse?
Not quite sure, but you know that the air is definitely probably a little bit damper.
Guys,
Where?
I would have noticed the change in air as
I'm
well, wouldn't I?
He's got a high
Yes.
passive perception, so I'm not
Yes.
with that.
I kind of like.
All my fur is like humidity starting to spike up too, I reckon.
He has a high passive perception, folks. Come on.
If I couldn't tell by being an
I'm
underground
taking
character,
a piss. I'm taking
yeah.
a piss.
I kind of run my hand through the air and kind of condense the moisture into like little ice droplets and say, "It's getting a bit moist in here, lads."
Are we still going down?
You probably plateaued out a bit in this particular section.
Would I know?
Actually, you probably even noticed that it's starting to go up again.
Would I understand why the moisture might have changed in the air just from my experience with tunnels and digging and like with the gnomes? The
Can you
dwarves
do
and
me
stuff?
do me a stone cutting check?
Alright.
Maybe we're getting closer to the river.
We have gone under the river.
Or there's some form of
24.
This is one of those things that you probably noticed that when you were digging tunnels in the side of a mountain for the purposes of constructing some sort of dwarven works of some type, every once in a while your tunnels have opened up a natural grotto or a natural set of caves and stuff like that that are usually formed by water of some type, and because they're formed of water, they're usually a lot more damper.
Yeah.
So the change in the atmosphere going from that really dry, dusty, stale air changing to a more damper, slightly fresher air is because of a natural set of caves usually.
But we're still just going straight down a tunnel.
Yes.
Would it be indicative of the fact that we'd be opening up into that, or would that be something that it would be like parallel to in a sense?
Could be anything at the stage because you've only got 60 feet of vision. Really
Okay,
don't.
so I wouldn't know.
No, you can't see anything, but you can definitely
beyond the light
feel
that
it.
he's casting around.
I mean, at this, I will. I still have the light rock you gave me, so I'll just like piff it down the tunnel as far as you can go.
You piff the light on the rock down the tunnel as far as it can go. It bounces off the wall ever so briefly, and then bounces into the onto the floor itself. And you notice ahead of you, outside of your distance, as it lands amongst another large pile of loose bricks and rocks, and so on and so forth. From the shade or the shadow that this light casts, you notice that it's basically caved in.
Oh.
Wait. If that's caved in, doesn't mean that
And just motions wildly to behind him.
can cave in.
It's
Would I have
it's
a
pretty stable.
technical answer to this?
If you want.
Is ahead of us more structurally constructed, or is behind us more structurally constructed? Is it
The
heading
only
towards
thing
more natural?
The only thing you probably might notice with your stone cutting is that this is older work.
Okay.
Newer work closer to the start point.
That's what I suspected. I mean, yes, but, well, I wouldn't guarantee that because, you see, the stuff here is a lot older. Back there, look, if you have a look, it's a lot newer and nicer, you know?
That's not very reassuring.
You'll be fine.
You also notice, because of your high passive perception again, that the light also casts a bit of a shadow on the left wall.
I'm gonna get closer very carefully. I will pull open my acorn lantern and twist it open.
Your acorn lantern and
Yes.
twist it open. Okay, quick. I'm going to do a quick interruption because Matty Morgs is coming ready to just again with 19 people. How you doing, Matty Morgs?
Hey, also Mick joined us.
Mix from birth, yeah.
Greetings.
Oh, Prohub, he's in green, so I can't actually see it.
Raid!
Raiding party!
Also, I posted in the group because I didn't think we'd get an interruption.
7 months subscription for Matty Morgs.
But holy shit! Hey, you got an upgraded tankin!
Yeah!
Salut.
The hypnotic
Yes!
gamer.
Whoop 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 whoop!
Thanks for coming along. Oh, more followers, the dancing bear. That's right, yes.
Oh, it's my favorite.
Everyone who's following us, that dancing bear was actually put together by Alice just before we went, so about a month ago. So yeah, it's her artwork that's basically put there together.
I was having a bit of fun.
Yeah, we're
and
having
I
a good old
forgot
fun.
it was there, and I forgot how happy it makes me to see it.
Shazoo!
Right.
Also, someone said that if there's a 7-foot cobalt, can they make it look like 2 kobolds in a trench coat?
How many times have we come up with
If
that
I
joke?
was
It's either been
700
halflings, kobolds, or gnomes.
It works most effectively with gnomes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really? I thought it was a
Is
half
it
thing.
what you call it, a trope?
Yeah,
Trope,
it's
yeah.
a big
Like
trope.
a D&D trope?
Yes.
Alright, let's get back to...
All right, so let's get back into it. You guys, I said, are traveling down the tunnel. You've come to the cave-in.
Can I inspect the cave-in and see, does it look recent?
Okay, I'm doing this from a description from a distance at this present moment in time. So if you say you want to go and inspect
Yep,
it,
she's
Yes.
walking up,
Alright,
she
cool.
doesn't...
The two
Emma
of us
has no
are
fear.
approaching them.
Use a cave-in.
Unless someone stops her, she's just gonna go and have a look at it.
I'm accompanying you with a light
Actually,
source.
I'm getting increasingly paranoid being in a cave like this. Can I do a check for sign of life?
no worries, Rayleigh.
And underground, I mean...
It's just underground because I don't like feeling trapped.
Pussycat, just think of yourself as being inside a box.
Huh?
It's a box. A big box.
That actually does
A
somewhat
long
calming down.
tunnel box.
That you can't leave, even if you want to.
Shut up! You're not helping
All right,
the
so
situation.
whoever's basically heading down towards the blockage, by all means, you go for it. As soon as you get probably reasonably close to it, before you even actually get to the stone itself that's lighting up the area, you'll do notice that the left-hand side of the wall is part of the cave-in as well, and it goes deeper into this natural cave system from what you can see.
Okay, so does this tunnel continue straight ahead, but also a cave? Or
There is a cave, from what you can gathering on the left-hand side of the wall. It does look like it will continue on forward, except that it's completely blocked off.
It's
the cave
completely blocked off except for that cave to the side.
So
Okay.
we can't advance without going
Can
left.
I investigate the cave in? Was it natural?
It looks natural to you, yes. You investigate it a little bit. Your stone cutting basically tells you that this part right here is not quite natural.
The part that opens to the cave.
Correct. There's an element of, you can see the natural cave formations just ahead of you, but there's like someone's dug a hole from that natural cave into the actual tunnels themselves,
Can I tell which way it was dug? From the tunnel side or from the cave side?
from the cave side.
You just see Amber, she's sitting there looking at rocks.
Amber,
What?
is it stable?
Oh, is it stable?
Yeah, it's stable.
Yeah, it's fine. No, that's not what I'm concerned about.
Guys, it's fine. You can get closer. It's not going to fall down.
How far back do you think the cave-in goes for? Do you reckon we could possibly
I don't
clear
know,
it
I wasn't
and continue
looking
on?
at that. I was more interested in the fact that this cave looks like it's been dug out from the cave side into here. I don't know. Oh, and it's somehow caused a cave in. That's peculiar.
But the kobolds would have been digging from the tunnel side, right?
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. Yeah.
Timothy.
In theory, that would mean that we would have encountered whatever came through, unless they went back through. Amber just rattles on this nonsense.
Unless they went somewhere else.
Can I make a survival check to see if I recognize what caused the digging, like if it was claws from an animal or a shovel?
Yeah,
or something?
I'm not even going to make a roll for that. It looks pretty much like claws.
Like big claws or like just small claws or lot or big claws?
Odd
That's
claws.
More like odd claws, no. A mixture of. It's hard to tell.
Okay.
Mostly big claws from what you can gather.
Some kind of big beastie, guys, has been digging.
All right.
Let's go and say hello.
You mean kill it?
Yes. Hello.
I mean, what if it's friendly?
That's a very good one.
Nah, that's not likely. Let's go.
They said they were scared of it.
No, they said they were scared of the unknown scratchy sound.
All right, it's probably okay then. Glenn just starts walking ahead
Let's
of you.
kill it.
And that's
anyways,
where
we'll do
Amber
it.
stops and goes, "Oh yeah, the scratchy sound. That's probably what made this." And goes, "Oh dear."
Trolls bitten. Sorry, interrupting you. You're talking.
Hey, okay.
Yes.
Are you okay in the dark? Are you doing all right?
I'm fine as long as I have my mace with me.
Okay, good. I'm gonna pick the stone back up and just.
Oh, Northern Italy. Sorry, I want to interrupt you guys again. I shouldn't be doing this. I should be actually playing the game. But I want to say, because we're getting interrupted by someone from Northern Italy.
Oh, and Sweden.
Yeah, and Sweden.
Sweden.
Yeah.
Buongiorno.
Holy
Buongiorno.
cow!
I was in Northern Italy 3 years ago,
Yeah, about that.
doing a LARP where we got stuck in a underground mine,
Jersey.
representing a LARP based on the show
Icarus?
Icarus. Sorry, the LARP was called Icarus. It was based off
Expanse.
The Expanse. Thank you. That's the TV series.
Well, how appropriate.
Great.
We're underground
It
again.
was fantastic.
Joyzy.
Joyzy.
Yeah, Joycey.
All right. Sorry. Yes. Let's continue on. All right. So are you entering the tunnel?
Yes.
All right. So you enter into the tunnel.
Amber's gonna enter on guard.
On guard.
On guard, eh?
On
She'll have
I
an
really
axe.
want to see you
I feel
try
like
and
my
fence
rapier.
with that axe.
I mean, she's
What's that?
I want to
proficient.
see her try and fence with that axe.
She's proficient in rapiers. She knows how to fence.
Oh damn.
Just, you
You just
know,
don't have to fence. You put the ball
You
in.
just
you
have
put
to
the ball in,
challenge
string some
her.
wire right between them.
just tell her one day. Ask her to do it. She'll do it.
You guys travel probably not even 20 feet within the tunnels itself, and you notice immediately it just turns immediately a corner to the right, and then 10 feet beyond that, it's an intersection going in 3 different directions. For the lack of a better way, putting it a north, south, and a west.
What kind of caves are these?
They look pretty except for this particular tunnel, which obviously has been dug in. You're now looking at a more natural system that's been put together.
Hang on.
Like stalagmites and
Can I-
tides?
Yeah, stalagmites, stalactites, all that
So
type of
your
jazz.
typical.
They're not as prominent in this particular place as you would probably expect, but this seems to have been probably down here for
So
quite
it's
some
a
time.
crossroads.
Don't be so literal in my left, rights, and centers because it's just a big cave system, so it's going to go off in all sorts of weird different
Still
directions.
good to keep notes, though.
Yes, but
So-
from the perspective of the main tunnel that you were traveling through, you've come up to the blockage, and then on the left hand side is the tunnel you're going into. So you would, if we were saying that you were traveling west to go down the tunnel, then you going into the actual digging area, you'll be heading south. So yeah, it's very hard to describe. But it goes on.
So there's,
No, it's
there's
not
three,
supposed to be.
There's 3 paths.
Yes, there's 3 parts.
Well, we could split into teams of 2. Make
Oh,
it hard
my
on the
dear.
DM.
All right.
It's a terrible plan.
Hold on a sec.
And he's pulling out all of his notepads and
Let's
he's,
split the party.
he's pulling out his forgery kit and bastardizing it into a cartography kit.
Yep.
So
It is very much bastardization, yes.
Maybe we should make some kind of mark on the wall to say that we're all people.
Probably a good idea.
How about we go north, because that would get us right back to the path we're meant to be on, right?
Well, where are we going? Are we going to... Hang on, wait. Are we
We're
going?
going to the Plague District.
Are we going to the Plague District, or are
Yes,
we going
which is
to
southwest.
No, I thought we were going to the Nobles. Oh God, I
No, we don't.
That might help you.
Plague District.
You think
Okay.
you think we're meant to be? Are we meant to go through here to get to the? I feel like the kobolds should have mentioned this. It's rude of them.
Maybe
That's
they
the
don't
people-
know. This looks natural, right? They said they weren't going into this area.
So if the kobolds assumed we were just going to take the tunnel the whole way, then let's just go north and try and find the tunnel.
That's not a bad idea.
West, but yeah.
I was going to say.
So we were going west. We've been diverted south, and now we've found an intersection that can take us north.
No, they can take us west again, east or
That's
south.
yeah, west, north, and south.
yes. So if,
Sorry, west, north, and east, I should say.
so
No,
if
west,
we go
we're traveling south, then north would have been where we came from.
Yes, so-
west, south, and east.
if we go north from where we are now, it will take us in the direction of the rest of the tunnel.
No, we just came from the north. We've been heading west, we headed south, so if we head north, we're going back up again.
Technically, this is south.
No, this is south.
Can I have that?
I have a 3-sided dice. I'm just going to decide my dice. We're going that way.
That way.
Yeah, I know. That's what I put.
Someone flip a coin.
I know Rory's an engineer by heart, so he needs this bit of paper to give him an understanding. So pass that
exactly.
on.
So we need to head
We
west.
can't head north. There is no north.
We need to head west.
4:30 a.m. Maddie, thank you for
did
coming
not
along with your
explain
raid.
that in a
Thank
way
you.
that I expected. Okay.
No, it's not easy to explain such things.
You said that the tunnel turned right and then split off, and that was my confusion.
Because it's not a straight tunnel, so it's kind of like a bit of a
Wiggle.
a C shape.
Okay.
It's
No,
not a
imagine-
straight tunnel to that intersection. It was more of a sort of V C shape, whatever you want to call it.
Okay, fair
And
enough.
that's where the confusion probably came from.
Well then, never
Ferris has
mind.
just decided that we're going that way, and he's going and the one that has the little squiggly lines on it to the right.
to
north
right.
of you.
Okay, yep.
Well, wait.
Well, it was easier to describe it
I
to
know.
you.
No,
Wait,
we're
are we
going
not?
west.
Wait. Are we not going? Where are we going to explore the caves instead of where we're going?
We can't go where we're going. There's a blockage.
We needed to find a way around.
Oh yeah.
We're in the caves.
That will be the quickest way to
Right.
get to where
Yep.
we're going.
Follow you.
Keeping in mind that I'm going east and we should be going west.
Oh,
You think Amber knows what direction we're walking?
Right, let's move.
So you're going down there, aren't you?
east.
No, that way.
That one?
Yeah.
So west.
What?
We're heading
West is that way.
West is
Oh,
that
okay,
way.
okay.
On the road again.
That way then. Yes, that way.
I
So you
wish
came
I
up
was
to the
on the
blockage,
road
yeah.
again. Yes.
I don't know, I just rolled a dice, it decided for me.
Singing in an accent is fun.
Oh, it's got roast beef on. Let's go Italy.
I mean,
Email me
God.
some! It totally works! Hey, look, one day 3D printers will work that way.
That's
Wouldn't
right,
download a beef.
Oh yes, yes I would.
Yes, I
Yes, I would.
Let's
I
proceed.
did like the one of that was you wouldn't download a car and someone did a 3D printed Lamborghini.
Yeah, exactly.
No. The best thing is you wouldn't download a song, but you'd steal this one for your ad.
Yeah. All right. You guys start heading off towards the tunnel. These are really short tunnels, realistically, somewhere between what you think's 20 feet-ish, give or take, 15 to 25, 30 feet maybe. So you're seeing these. So as soon as you start heading in what you think's the westerly direction, it continues on a bit further up and widens up a little bit, and you notice that the tunnel also then turns right around and also goes left as well. So almost does a sharp 180-degree turn and then heads back towards almost the same place you came from. At least from what you can gather.
Is that it? Like there's no forward or...
There is definitely still forward as well, and it goes off and winds a little bit and then heads off into a different area.
Onward!
I guess.
What are these caves made out of? They stone, they limestone, they...
In this particular area, it's mostly a mixture
Yeah,
of limestone and
dirt.
sandstone and stuff like that.
Okay.
There's like a trickle of water going through the area. You also notice that as you're travelling down this particular tunnel, it steps down quite considerably, like it dips
Okay.
and goes further in. As it goes further in, you come to the bottom of this particular set of dip of this tunnel as you are moving towards the westerly direction, and you notice at the edge of your vision, it's already starting to open up into a bigger cavern of some particular type.
Oh, fucking finally. And I start moving a little bit quicker to get into the opener area.
Yep, you start moving forward. You see, again, more stalactites, stalagmites, mushrooms and moss type thing.
How high is the ceiling now?
I'm gonna.
Somewhere about 15, 20 feet maybe.
Okay, so it's starting to get. Oh no, it'd still be in our vision radius. No.
Yeah, you can definitely see the top of the ceiling of that too.
Rowan,
Yes?
these mushrooms, do you think they're any good?
I mean, they're underground.
Here,
Actual underground
catch.
mushrooms.
And he reaches down, grabs a mushroom by its top, just like holding it, and
Can
with
you-
a single claw just flicks out and cuts it off.
Okay, as you do
And
that,
a constitution save.
yes, the whole mushroom that you basically play around with almost disintegrates immediately within the dryness and dust.
Oh god, it's a spore.
Alright, this ain't good.
Oh, this ain't
I've bombed it. It's bad.
You start coughing profusely.
Well, Amber, to answer your question, no.
I think they're perfect!
So I grab my water skin and just sort of like hold it out.
I'm just like pouring it over myself, like coughing, profusely sputtering.
Would I know the way to collect these without killing myself?
Amber, no. I can see Amber. No. I'm gonna approach with all the tact and deference known for druids interacting with plants,
And roll a 1.
and I'm gonna try and suss this thing out.
Rowan, rather than you touching it either, I
I'm
could
not
just
even
use my
touching
mage
it.
hand.
I'm just gonna look at it with my eyes, very carefully.
Kamichi's is actually Nick.
Huh?
That's
me.
Kamichi's.
I'm Kamichis. Komishes.
So, assuming
Commie
this is
cheese.
nature, I rolled an 11.
Oh, he knows.
Right. You gingerly approach the mushroom and attempt to examine it as much as you can to figure out the best way to approach removing it from its precarious place on the edge of the rock. You edge close, you edge close, you edge close, very slowly, very gently, and you put your hand underneath it. You grab it at the very base of it where you think you need to do it, and you do just a slight, quick jolt, but not at a big pull, and do this a couple of times to sort of just edge it out.
I'm not actually trying to take it. I'm just trying to understand it as a life form.
Oh, okay, it's a mushroom.
I can tell you,
Meanwhile,
it's kept in the dark and it eats shit.
Meanwhile, I've just gone on, like, I'm pissed off now, so I'm just kicking mushrooms, going, stupid.
Oh,
Oh my god! Uncle, stop!
He's like wrapping
You're
his paws over his
coughing. You're
clothes.
coughing again. It's actually quite profuse. Can everyone else who's in the room now, just let's say everyone, can make a con save, please?
Why do you want us to suffer?
I'm blaming you for this.
I rolled a nat 20.
You're fine.
For what?
I got
Con save.
21.
I got a 9.
You're not.
I got a 6.
You're not.
Like,
I got a 3, so.
How much?
13.
Well, does
Yeah.
this count as poison?
Or
Yes.
disease.
I was
Oh
da-
wait, if it's poison, I get it because I've got the belt still.
Yeah, you do. That's right.
I was down.
I rolled a 2 and a 1. So.
Like, I was down examining one, being like, I wonder, and then just into my peripheral vision is a foot that just goes through it. And I'm like, ah!
Straight in the face. I told you to use mage hand.
Amber's just standing there like, what is wrong with you
It's
guys?
all in
And
my
just reaches
damn
down and grabs.
Oh boy, you're making it worse!
Do I have any like jars or vials left on me and stuff from
You may have like a vial or two.
just to try and like capture one and its spores in my
That's
other
right.
one?
Attempt to, yeah.
Can you help me,
Do I need to
please?
roll for that?
There's still a lot of mushrooms in this place, so.
But I want to try and get spores as well in the jar.
Okay,
with
so if
it.
you're gonna try and get spores, can you do me a dex check?
I can use mage hand.
You're all dying. Don't look at me.
Probably.
Saving throw or just a flat check?
Just a flat check. This is you capturing, not
19.
19. Yeah, you can actually manage to get some in a bar.
And it's got a mushroom in there as well.
Yep.
Using my medicine skill, would I be able to help these people not be dying from choking on spores?
When you realise that all it is just a really
It's like breathing flour.
yeah.
Antoine has just...
Okay, Oddclaw, please move away from the mushrooms.
They don't
All
hurt.
right.
Go stand over there in the open.
Hang on, I just have one thing I want to check. And he reaches into his back pocket and pulls out the blue crystals and tosses it to Amber. Amber!
What?
Those crystals, same shit? And it's this blue crushed up dust stuff that causes sleep. Just wondering if they're related.
So you get to throw your vial of it that you've got, or
Yep.
whatever it is. that you
Oh,
have, yeah.
right.
Well, it's more like a drug bag.
A little baggy.
Is there
Yeah.
any relevance on simple inspection?
Simple inspection, not really, no.
I don't think there's any relevance whatsoever. This is clearly crystals, and this is clearly like spores, like...
Very different.
Good point, Chuck back.
Okay.
Smoke it.
Also, like, completely fine ignoring the fact and just like, you guys alright?
Antoine
Half
has
of the party's just like coughing up and stuff like
laid
that.
on hands upon me because he's a nice person.
Just hairballs.
Right.
But you don't need to give them water.
Smells like home.
Itches in the lungs.
It's like hay fever. That's all it is.
I like this
Next
plant.
time you do that, I'm using Mage Hand to pull your tail.
What kind of plant is designed to explode? I mean, I suppose it's. I suppose now the seeds are everywhere.
You look worried.
I need a bath
Why?
later.
What?
Because this is it's reproducing.
Right.
These are probably adult, and they explode on contact and get on people, and then where we go, there's more.
Oh, so they got really happy when Oddblood touched them.
Yes, you've spawned a whole new generation of mushrooms,
A whole new world.
and with the
You're
terrain.
fantastic.
Wouldn't be the first time.
You need to change your
I don't want to
clothes.
finish
So
that
do I.
sentence, it's too dirty.
Prestidigitation.
I think Oddclaw might be used to being a father with offspring.
Litters.
No. I just
Like to spread your seed everywhere?
let's move on.
I'm also going to examine the moss because I'm also curious because plants.
Yep.
It's nice.
You study it all. It's just like
I figure you'll tell me.
everyday
as in-
moss that's sort of like grown because of the conditions that we're in, which is a bit weird because the mushrooms being as dry as they are didn't make sense. But obviously, it's a case of a mixture of the dry air in the local area from the tunnels itself, as well as a mixture of the wet area to create the mushrooms themselves. So it's a very not common mushroom sort of combination in this area. So that makes it a bit off, I guess. But it's not unheard of.
Do I know whether or not I'm correct in my assumption that these mushrooms exploding is some kind of reproductive cycle?
Yes.
Thought so.
Shall we press on?
I think we better head.
Right.
Claude, don't kick any more life, please.
Noted.
No more shrooms for you.
Noted.
Look, if you want to have some fun, see me at the lab later. I might have a potion or two you can play with.
Noted.
Let's see what's on the slab.
I was listening to that today.
What?
Come on to the lab and see what's in the slab.
You notice at the end of this particular room, I've said particular again, I've got to try and stop saying that word so much.
You do say it a lot.
I do say it a lot. At the end of this room, this is a whole
Cavern.
thank you, that's the word I'm looking for. It only goes just slightly outside of your vision. So as you moved in and started kicking around with the mushrooms and stuff, it then moves back into a smaller tunnel and then heads west again.
Well, press on.
There doesn't seem to be anything in the doorway, so yes.
Yeah.
Do I notice anything? Probably not. Never mind.
Notice anything what?
I don't know, just out of place in the cavern at all. Anything not natural. I can do a
Everything
check.
looks pretty normal. As I said, the only thing that sort of probably for Rowan's sake is the mushrooms are not quite right for this place, but well, it is, for a cave, I should. That's probably a better way of putting it. So these mushrooms probably are right for this place, but just not right for a cave system inherently. But because of the mix between the stonework tunnel and the natural caves, it kind of does make a bit of sense.
It's a curiosity.
It is a curiosity.
Nothing else. Let's proceed down the tunnel. Gonna have a drink. Because all that coughing was a bit too real.
Shh.
I was gonna ask about it, but I'm like, would I be able to see it with my mace light?
Yeah, no, you can
have
see it.
nothing.
The ceiling is
wasn't
not
that
that
high.
high.
Yeah. Like
It's typical paranoia.
at the point I'm going on the walls or anything. Can I see any more of the claw marks?
Yes, you can.
So they're all over the walls.
Not all over the walls. Probably the most common place you notice it is at the entrance.
Yeah.
Not so much in this big open area, but as you head towards the western part of this tunnel again, of this cavern, as you're going back into the smaller tunnel again, and then you notice that the claw marks are there again.
So while the cavern is naturally occurring, the paths between them have been enlarged.
That's what it looks like.
I've seen this before.
Something dug out these tunnels.
Badgers.
I doubt it was a badger, because a badger doesn't need a hallway 10 feet wide.
Giant badger.
Giant badger.
Dire badger.
That would be cool to see.
A big giant badger.
A giant dire badger. There you go.
No,
Okay.
I think these spores are playing with my head. Let's move on, shall we?
As we're walking, I'm just saying, look, we don't know what to call it yet, but how about we call it a giant badger for now?
For now.
For now, because who knows what we're going to find.
I imagine it would be neither badger-like nor as cute.
I'd just like to say that we've found the mushrooms and the badger, and what comes next?
Snakes?
Oh no.
Sorry,
Badger.
Troll Beden is basically saying it's warm in Italy at the moment, like 14 degrees in the shade.
You know what? If there was 14 degrees in sun, I wouldn't
Boy.
care.
Yeah.
We've got 14 degrees in goddamn rain.
Yes.
It's
And it's spring.
cold.
We're meant to be getting warmer.
Thank you for coming
Apparently
along,
next
Finish
week it's gonna
Karai.
be
Thank you for
30.
your raid, and
Apparently.
good night. Enjoy yourself.
Might
Thank
finally be able to get
you.
some washing done.
Ta-ra.
Let us press forward, yes.
Alright, so one thing I'm going to do because of what's going
Oh
on.
no, there is a DM screen coming up.
Move the minis.
You can just turn to a different page on my book if you like.
Yeah, I could do that too.
Do you want me to pull the battle map
jeez.
up?
Oh, this can never be good.
I'm using this as a placeholder. I can do the battle map, it's not a problem.
Just to see things.
Alright. You guys head through the tunnel a bit more. This goes for a while. There's no deviations or any other paths that go off. It goes for what you think maybe 100 feet, give or take. And then it comes starting to open up into another large cavern. This one's a lot bigger than the one before.
Even the cathedral?
Sorry?
Is it a cathedral?
It is not a cathedral. What makes you think it's a cathedral?
That's what they call giant underground caverns.
Really?
Oh,
There you go.
yeah, fair enough.
Actually, probably would be in that case then. A cathedral of a cavern.
Oh, I never knew that.
And there's one in America where they've actually hooked up things to the different stalagmites, and you can play it like an organ.
Yes, I've heard about that. Yeah,
really,
yeah.
really cool.
But yeah, this is a much, much larger cavern.
I believe it plays in the Hall of the Mountain King.
Hello!
Everyone melts coming to Australia.
Yeah, it's coming into summer soon too, so like
40 degrees ahead.
I'm going to be
It's probably about 10
fleeing back
kilometres now,
to a UK where Christmas is going to be great.
Oh god, what was
was
that?
Hello?
That didn't
Is
sound
it
like
me
a
you're looking for?
You've really missed not playing, haven't you?
Yeah.
I just call out to this cavern like, Echo!
Echo!
Shh. You might alert something to our presence. Oh. Well, onward, I guess, then, if they already know we're coming.
If we're going to encounter something, we may as well do it in a big cave rather than a tunnel.
I like that idea. Let's get to
Yes,
Wow,
but the
that's really bad metagame.
that is really bad because in a tunnel,
It can't
they
be
can only
guys.
come at us a few wide.
I disagree.
In a big cavern, they can swarm us.
No, I prefer
Also, I can block the way.
I
and we can
prefer
escape.
big area. I need a bit of space to
No,
do
no,
what I
no,
do.
no. I like the tunnel idea.
Turn around.
Because
and
then
get
I
them.
can stand in front of it and none of you guys can get hit.
Okay, I may be wrong. I'm willing to accept
You may be
that.
right.
Let's vote. Who wants space? Big space. Tunnel?
Tunnel.
Well, we're here now.
We have no choice anymore. Whatever's going to happen will happen. Let's just see what happens. On that point, can I see the other side of the thing?
No,
coming up?
it's longer. It's beyond the 60-foot range.
Pull out the stone again,
Yep.
recast light,
Yep.
throw it,
Roll-
and try and get the other
Roll me
side.
just roll me d20 for the time being.
That is a 6.
You throw it into the chasm. Not into the chasm, sorry, into the cathedral of the area. It bounces off a stalactite and then lands almost directly underneath it, about 30 feet away.
I pick up another stone, cast light. Caliber, please help. Whew. Roll again.
Yep.
Nope. That's even worse.
When you go into your throw arc, you accidentally let loose a lot earlier than expected. So instead of going at the angle you were expecting it to go, it kind of like goes up and then bounces off the roof and comes back down again. That's how it goes.
I'm just waiting for you to throw one of
Give
the
me
bounces
this
off
rock.
a rock and
Would
just
you like
smacks you
some
back to the
help?
head.
Give me the rock.
Alright,
Would you like some guidance?
Just give me the rock.
I'll go look.
And I just like pull out sword and start heading forward.
Okay.
You don't have dark vision.
Hmm?
You don't have dark vision, but
Yes, I do.
I do.
He's a cat. Of course he has dark vision.
I mean,
How do you think he doesn't fall off the rooftop at night?
cats in the monster manual don't have dark vision, which is
Tabaxi,
No,
which
they
does.
don't.
I know.
Tabaxi does.
Cats don't. Tabaxi do.
Alright, so you
Tabaxi
start
does.
heading off into the chasm, and yeah, you wandering.
I'm collecting his stones that he's throwing everywhere.
Yes, when he throws the first stone with the light spell cast, I assume that's what's going on. As soon as he realizes it hasn't gone far enough and picked up another stone, the light spell goes away from the first stone and comes up to the second one.
I'm getting increasingly confused now.
Every time they cast a light spell, it just
It's
I know,
conscious.
but he
oh,
doesn't
okay.
know
Yeah,
that.
that's fair enough.
He's just picking up rocks as they're bright and then going out. And going, what?
Yes, we are in daylight savings time at the moment in Victoria, Victoria, New South Wales, I think South Australia.
It's the southern part of Australia.
Yeah, but South Australia is
the
an
north-
hour behind us anyway.
Half an hour.
Half an hour.
Can we?
And the north doesn't do daylight saving because they're too close to the equator.
It's also because they're cows.
Can we stop for a lunch break?
It's only been
We've
an
only
hour.
been down here for an hour and a half.
And?
You know what?
I toss you a good
I
bag.
kind of agree. You know, my stomach's getting a bit, and you just hear.
Is that the monster or your stomach?
Ah.
Good berry.
Oh yeah,
Maybe
yeah. I
her
really
stomach
like those.
is the monster.
I think there is something else in the dark here, but
I would like to impartial onto everyone who's watching this channel or listening to this channel at this present moment in time how much metagaming the party is doing right now just because I put a book out into the combat area.
it's not that.
It
It's
feels
I'm in a
paranoid.
cavern underneath a city full
It's a
of
big space.
bad things.
I'm not metagaming.
I threw a stone to see the other side of the room. What's so bad about that?
Oh.
Are we gonna
No,
proceed then?
no.
Yes, let's just wander
He
in
threw
aimlessly.
really bright stones up in the air a couple of times so that people went, oh yes, there they are over there. See that flashing light?
I assume you
Why don't we
decided
build
to
a
do a third
lighthouse?
stone anyway because of...
I'd pass it to him.
Oh, you passed it to him? Okay, cool. Alright, so you've walked ahead of the party,
Yeah.
and I assume the rest of you guys, after about 10 feet, decide
I'm
to
just
start walking.
yelling back.
Probably.
Can we have a lunch break? I'm
Yeah,
hungry.
yeah. Hungry.
Am I doing dex or strength for this?
You probably only go about maybe 30, 40 feet into the actual cavern itself. Then when you realise that you can now actually see the end of the cavern. and it looks like at the very end it heads off to the right.
Yeah, no.
Right, Rocky.
Here is a good spot for lunch. We might run into those mushrooms again, and I want to eat where there's no mushrooms. The next cavern's on that way, but I want mushrooms here. No.
What?
Food. I don't want to eat mushrooms. Just food here, without mushrooms.
And did you bring food?
That's not my job.
His ear just like flicks, and he reaches back and pulls out all of Amir's rations anyway.
It's just bags of coffee grinds.
And he's just like sticking a clawed hand in and pulling out full handfuls of beans and just sticking them in his mouth and chewing on them.
Chewing coffee.
Cat off the walls.
Just chewing straight coffee beans as a snack.
No.
Look, either you feed me or I eat this shit.
I already gave you a good berry.
That's not enough.
It's
Boy?
We're not taking a break.
Alright,
here.
no break.
And he puts the rations away.
No, that sounded just like
stone.
a stone on
Could
stone.
we tell where that came from?
It kind of echoed a little bit through the cavern.
Somewhere off in the darkness.
I think we should probably start being a little, well, I'm
Hang on.
going to be stealthy.
Axe.
You do whatever you do.
And
Yeah,
he's
I
sort
feel
of,
like Pierce is like holding me stuff like.
I'm
I pull
gonna
my shield off and I'm like,
attempt
let's
to
start going
also
down that way again.
stealth
You
along
keep
his
walking.
shield.
Yep, going stealth a bit. Yep.
It's 21.
Okay, that's pretty good. 21. I'm doing this for a bit of fun.
Oh, that is creepy. I like it.
God, it's a phantom violin player.
Someone in the corner.
And
Can you stop the dramatic music, please?
He's like,
Sorry.
no.
It's just a very, very small gnome.
Could I grab some coke? I got shocking.
All right. It wasn't so much that the grinding effect was the closest I had with the immediate what I had. So there is a rock on rock sort of grinding, not so much of a big stone block moving or anything like that. But you could definitely feel the earth shake really, really lightly, especially you because you got
Move.
Under my feet.
So a small rumble.
Stalagmites.
Feels
Small
like the
rumble, yeah.
sky might be tumbling down.
No, stalagmites.
Can I
down.
I feel the
Can I
earth
create
move under my
weird
feet.
effects? Where is my cantrip sheet?
Go lightning. That's okay.
Druidcraft. No. No, never mind.
Amber,
That's not what
have
Yes.
you heard of a creature or something like that that would sound like stone moving on stone?
I mean, maybe it's dragging stone. Or maybe it's digging tunnels. You said it was something digging tunnels. Maybe it's just moving the stone in the dirt. She's not actually answering your question.
Yeah,
She's just
I get that.
panic mumbling. Does she actually know of a creature that might live in the caves that might make similar sounds?
There's no actual skill for this, realistically.
Oh, history?
History is probably the best one, yeah.
From like
Not stone cutting, no.
No.
from stories about
15.
There is a lot of different creatures that can burrow through stone and cause a lot of pain. In fact, you have encountered one of them before when you were travelling along a mountain range.
Yes, the bullets.
The bullet.
Amber's just going to be prattling off all the possible creatures she knows of caves and things she's encountered and heard of stories. And you do, and then there's these big things, and then there was the things we went, and that time when we went through the caves.
Gonna separate from the party a bit because they're
Stop
making
it.
tons of noise.
That was me doing that. I apologise, I actually pressed the wrong button.
There we go. Yeah, we're back.
Yeah, sorry,
Sorry,
I actually pressed the wrong button on my tablet.
Also, to answer the question, because I can't type it in among all the roleplay, I'm playing a zealot barbarian. A dwarf barbarian.
Yeah.
Dwarf zealot barbarian.
All right. First things first. Can I get the party to place themselves on this cavern, representing this cavern?
Okay. Where was?
Oh no, I've been trapped.
Where did
underneath
we
the
walk
cabin.
in
Which
from?
was the entrance?
I'll go from that side as the entrance.
Oh,
All right.
Close enough.
that's where I'm curious.
No, hell no, screw you.
I would be probably pretty far off from the party.
Let's
moving
put you guys
ahead.
in the center roughly somewhere, because this is when it roughly happens, not at the entrance, but at the center.
Whichever direction we're headed, Amber would be near the front. Right.
No, I would be near the
Oh, you're
front,
saying
'cause
that's
I'd
the
be-
cabin?
The whole thing's the cavern, so roughly in the middle somewhere. And just ignore that center
Oh.
part.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I would have pissed off way ahead of you guys
Yeah. The cat would be ahead.
by a
I
lot.
can't push him that far.
They often do call me the enchanter, yes, because that joke is old, and I hear it a lot.
Tim.
Yeah,
Who's
lovely.
this? Is this? Oi. Oi.
That's.
Oi.
Wait,
What?
where
Yes,
Where are
that's
you?
Christian.
I would be somewhere in the front where because I've got the light.
So. Okay. There? Yeah? Okay.
Yeah, that's probably right.
And we're just bantering loudly.
Yes. As you guys are bantering loudly in the thing, and you're basically saying, what's for lunch and stuff like that, then you hear the stone on stone. Out of the corner of each of the rooms, so roughly corner, give or take, you see one of these little creatures.
What?
suddenly just pop out.
Is that an Umber Hulk?
It is an Umber Hulk.
Oh no!
Oh no!
So like from there?
And another one, which I don't have any more Umber Hulk miniatures, so this represents an Umber Hulk. This represents another Umber Hulk.
I mean, it keeps it easy so we know which one's taking what damage.
Yeah, that's true.
Is that green one an Umber Hulk?
No, it's a Chol, but I'll use that
But it
anyway.
looks similar.
Yeah, it's close.
What happened to our movie stick? We had a movie stick.
Yeah, I love the movie
I
stick.
think
Yeah.
it moved away.
Oh, I really liked the movie stick. It's convenient.
And
A
roll
little slightly
initiative.
creepy.
And roll initiative, yes.
Ah!
Do I have... Oh, man, it's been too long since I played. I think I have advantage on initiative roll.
Damn it!
Yeah, I think
You
I
do.
do bonus too, and I can't remember what it is.
It's written on your character
That's
sheet.
good
I'm trying to find it.
for me.
Yeah, that's good for you.
Oh, wow.
Charisma to initiative.
My initiative was absolutely balls.
Holy shit, 32. Initiative of +8, add my charisma due to rakish audacity, rolled a nat 20. So plus 12 to 20.
So I rolled a 2 and a 3.
You act yesterday.
Initiative +8.
No. Your charisma's already added.
Oh, my charisma's already included?
Yes.
Okay, 28.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you get plus 12? It's almost impossible unless you got like a heap effect, which I know you don't have.
That's terrifying.
So 28, you said?
28. So,
I got a 12. Yeah. 28.
sorry.
16.
7.
Jesus, that's way low.
I know.
7, that's not low. What
That
did
tells
you
us
get?
everything.
18.
18 for Antoine.
I know it's like the highest initiative I've ever had.
Hi.
And Amber got
1.
5.
That's not bad.
I rolled a 2 and a 3. I have advantage. I rolled a 2 and a 3.
You rolled that one for the Umber Hulks.
The other horse is slow.
They're hulking creatures. What do you want?
Here's me going on about you getting a 5 initiative. I rolled a 1.
Oh, dude.
That makes them 2 on the initiative order.
Damn.
What's that?
Alright, so
Jesus.
How high is the roof in this cave we're in?
30 feet-ish, I
Okay,
think.
so it's not ridiculous.
No, it's not ridiculous high, no. Like, it goes from, somewhere between 15 to 30 feet. As you get towards the center, it gets higher and stuff like that, but it's irregular. So, Oddball, you're first.
So the three, everyone else in the party doesn't know where I am at the moment, but you see 3 red gems suddenly light up on the hilt of a rapier, and you all hear incoming, and Oddclaw is going to wall run at the closest Umber Hulk.
The red one, I'd say.
Yep.
And leap off the wall and smack the rapier
Go
across its
for
face.
it. Go for it.
Flat blade.
Oh, that's gimped.
Jack dice.
12 plus 10, so it's 22. to hit.
22 definitely hits the Umber Hulk.
And I'm assuming because I've just broken stealth, I can claim sneak, or it's 1-on-1. I can claim sneak no matter what.
Yeah.
Does someone want to move the mini within melee?
We
range?
don't. Where's the? Hang on. I have.
Sort of sneak
There's got to be a movie stick somewhere.
4d6. I get an extra dice. Sweet beans.
Yes, you are now a pure rogue, so you should be doing crap tons of damage.
And this is only the first attack.
Mm-hmm.
So 6, 7, 8, 9,
might be in
10,
the hallway.
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 plus 7. So it's 17 plus 7 is
24.
24.
Nice.
And then he's going to... Yeah, I'll throw the dagger jab into it as well. And that's a 19 plus 7, which is just going to be a 24 plus 4. And the dagger does 8.
Nice.
And
32 points of damage in one attack.
I'm going to disengage and immediately move back to where everyone else is.
You all see the Tabaxi just suddenly first time you've actually seen him in any action whatsoever, and he leaps to action. It's almost a complete blur of fur as he leaps off the wall itself and does a partial climb. You can see his foot claws essentially helping him hold up against the rock wall itself and whatnot. He leaps at the very last moment towards the Umber Hulk, brings down, you've got a rapier and a dagger, isn't it? Rapier and a dagger, and you flip your hat up as you do this, and it lands back on your hat. Stab it right through gaps into two of its plates in its body, and then you bring your dagger in and whatnot, and smack it right into the belly and create a small little incision right into one of the plates. That's how good the shot was.
Yep. And then I'm going to immediately move back to the rest of the party using my disengage.
Yep.
And I'm going to be...
Actually, you probably can't bet. We'll say back here.
Yep. 40-foot removement. So
Yep. It's a diagonals and all that type of
yeah.
Good heavens.
And I'm just going to stand there for a sec and just breathe heavily for a moment and go, plate seems thick. You guys, better move or something.
That means next is Antoine.
Oh boy.
I know.
When are you ever this high
He's like, I have no idea what to do. I've never been this early in combat.
Claw's already returned and he's just standing there looking at you and
Just like
gonna do anything?
we're like
Not used to going this soon.
on, Dice.
We're all just in shock of the tabaxi.
You doing?
Moonbeam
Moonbeam?
on that.
On that? Okay, Moonbeam. Because you are a paladin of thinking, yes. Alright, I do a save, don't I?
We.
I roll a natural 20.
so half damage.
Half damage.
Oh, that's wrong one.
2d10.
2d10.
2d10. I don't have this 2d10. Oh, right, this one.
Yeah, you should.
I've got this one and this one. That would be 10 and 6.
So 7.
What?
That's a 1. So 7. So 3.
So 1.
Yeah, it's 1.
So how much damage did you do with the Moonbeam?
3.
Overall?
Yeah.
After you halve it for
After you halve
for
it.
saving.
Just tell me how much damage
7.
you do with the Moonbeam. Thank you. Alright, as this beam of light just suddenly comes erupting from the cave out of nowhere and lights up the whole area quite considerably. The ion satellite from above. So, how did I manage to shoot this between the rocks?
Skilled.
Skill. Volk.
I cast Spiritual Weapon.
Spiritual weapon comes
Are we all
out.
just going to attack the one?
Yeah, take him out quick.
Probably take one at a time if we can.
If
So
we
I'm
take
gonna
that one,
attack
we can
the
escape.
same
That's
one. And yep,
You need a dice box.
14 plus.
These dice are pretty.
I know, right? I'm a big fan. Okay, so spells I can cast.
18.
18 to hit.
Yeah.
That is the magical number.
Perfect.
Looks similar
So
to mine.
1d8.
What does your weapon look like again?
It is literally Kalimbor's scales, like a flail.
Ah, that's right. Yes, like a flail. Yep.
Basically spin around towards something and hit it.
You see like this helicopter.
Basically.
Come in.
Oh, 8!
Nice.
Plus my wisdom, which doesn't seem right. It says +8.
That's not right.
Oh, that's definitely not right. It's your spell attack modifier. That's your attack roll for it.
It'd be a +4 because it's adding the advantage to maintain concentration. Now.
Yes. So
12
So
points
it's,
of damage. Thank you.
Yeah, 12 damage in total.
As this flailing set of scales comes by, appears right in front of this creature. I should actually have something for it, but we don't actually have any. I'm just going to use.
What do you need?
This is your D6 is now your
weapon.
spiritual weapon. And because there's also a moonbeam here, I'm going to put the moonbeam here.
Spiritual.
No.
That's a big weapon.
Just so we know the moonbeam's there. All right, so that was Volkia. Are you doing anything with your normal attack? Because that was your bonus action.
It looks like a few nymphs getting a bit comfortable with each other. What? It does. Sorry. It looks like spectral nymphs getting a bit cozy.
Frisky.
3 of them.
I'm not sure I have a.
Isn't that an orgy?
I could have sworn I had a
Cantrip.
3? No, it's
No,
a 3.
like
So
a-
you're gonna have 4 to have an orgy.
Crossbow or something like that.
I have a dagger.
I thought you just used your spell attacks.
Pardon?
I thought you just used a cantrip instead of using a crossbow.
Yeah.
But can I? I don't think I can cast.
Yes, you can.
You can cast a cantrip.
Okay.
Spiritual weapons are bonus
I'm
action.
going to cast Toll of the Dead.
Toll the dead.
So can you please make a Wisdom saving throw?
Which I make. I rolled 17.
Yeah.
God, you're crushing it, man.
I am crushing the dice at the moment.
Except for
Except for that
initiative.
one.
Except for initiative, yeah. We're all going to be dead before we can do anything. That was Volkia, so Imperious.
I am going to cast Bless at 2nd level, so I can target 4 people. I will target Oddclaw.
Actually, probably okay.
I will target Oddclaw. Amber, Volkia, and any, go wrong, because he is telling me that I should go wrong. Alright. So yeah, you're all blessed, so you have an extra d4.
It's your God's power comes out, even though you don't believe in a God.
Is that just on attacks? Or...
Attacks and saving throws.
Attacks and saving
Oh,
throws.
that's why you put it.
Ah, that's handy.
Right.
So is it always there or just once?
It's concentration up to a minute.
Oh, so D4?
Yeah.
Umber hulks are confusing.
We'll find out.
Big.
I'm also going to use one of my inspirations on. Let's go with Amber.
Ooh, is that a D6?
This is a D6. Yeah. So you currently have, if you somehow manage to miss, an extra D4 and an extra D6 you can add to top of it.
Just roll a d10.
Doesn't work the same.
No.
This is big on one of the Facebook D&D pages. Is what's better, 2d6 or 1d12?
Yeah, it's
2d6.
because the minimum
It
roll is
depends.
2.
It depends because the averages of a 2d6 is different to the averages of a d12.
Average of D12 is.
But we're not going to go into that discussion.
You're right, actually, yeah.
All right, so that was. So next would be Rowan.
I was. Ron was just there, like, about to start spellcrafting, felt an oomph from a divine motivation and went, okay, and just pulls out a longbow and takes a shot.
Yeah, fair enough. Go for it.
Plus, bless. That would be 12 plus my 6, so that is 18.
Magic number.
Yes, okay.
As this arrow comes from your longbow, it goes thunk right into the Umber Hulk. It look like it's about to miss, and there's this weird sort of twist in the air as it heads towards the Umber Hulk.
Thank you, and that is 10 damage altogether.
So it's
10
It's
damage.
an Acme arrow.
It's an
like-
And because I don't know what to expect from the rest of them, I'm just gonna grimace intimidatingly at the closest one and be like, I have a bow!
I'm not afraid to use it.
All right, Amber.
Oh shit, really? Okay.
Yes, if we actually consider it about what we do, they can actually be very quick combats.
So Amber is going. Ooh, how? Okay, that's irrelevant. She wouldn't even think of that.
Down quite far.
Are they? So did they make a lot of noise when they came in, or
They
are
did,
we,
yeah.
So we're
Lots of
aware.
chittering.
You were aware of all 4 of them, yeah.
Yeah. So Amber's probably going to turn around, and I can only move
The green one?
35.
She's probably about the same distance to both of those ones.
I probably should have moved.
I can't actually make it to any of them.
No, you
They're all
can't.
too
Throw
far
a javelin. Go for the green.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. She's gonna turn around, and towards this one here, she's gonna go as far as she can, rage,
And
and
throw a javelin?
throw her lightning javelin. I don't remember what it does exactly, but
She does move 40 feet.
35,
Oh, 35,
Yeah, that's
okay.
35.
because I'm a dwarf.
Yep.
I know what I'm about to.
Do I have?
She's not crazy like him who can move like half the continent.
Yeah.
I don't have advantage on attacks unless
If you're
reckless.
throwing the
I'm doing
javelin of
reckless.
lightning,
Like draw
you
three
don't
lines,
actually worry about attack roll because essentially what it does is that when it leaves your hand, it suddenly turns into a bolt of lightning as if you are Thor. And it races towards the creature and acts exactly like a lightning bolt spell does.
Okay.
So, which means it automatically hits, it does damage, and all it does is get a save for half.
Okay. I don't know what damage it does though.
Lightning bolt,
No, it's not a lightning bolt damage.
isn't it?
No.
It's 1d10 plus.
No. Stop,
1d10.
stop randomly throwing out dice rolls when you don't know the rules.
Lightning bolt as
But
a
I have
spell.
raged, so
It's
Is
like lightning
Like
bolt.
lightning bolt. So as a spell, it uses d6s.
This one does not.
Okay.
But for some reason, I can't remember what it is off the top of my head.
this is D8.
Each creature in the line must make a dex saving throw.
Yes.
In a line.
Yes, so like it could fly for 100 feet and just keep on bolting people in a line.
Well, Amber doesn't know this because she's never used it before.
Ah.
But she knows it can only be used once per day, or is it a one-time use?
Once per day, I
Once per
think.
day. Well, I thought it was on my character sheet, but apparently it's not.
Well, what was it? A homebrew, Tim?
No.
No, it's
Javelin of lightning.
Very quickly.
Oh, there it is.
It's not. You haven't activated.
I don't know why I didn't have it equipped, because it is equipped. She takes it with her everywhere.
46.
There we go, 4d6.
There you go.
Wow. Okay.
1, 2... Actually, no, I've got
need D6s.
4d6 right here.
And it's a DC 13.
Yes, I've got it here now. Finally got to look up. It should actually be on your character, especially if you're using
It is.
D&D Beyond,
It
so
is.
I shouldn't actually have to look it up.
It just, I don't know, for some
She
reason
didn't
it
have
was
the
not
active
active.
box clicked.
Okay, alright, cool.
Because all,
Oh, okay, so it wasn't, yeah, I see what you're saying.
all of
It
the
wasn't
weapons that
equipped.
are there, they're all
Yeah.
on her person. But for some reason, yeah, anyway.
1d6
Is
plus
it 4?
4.
4d6?
1d6 plus 4 plus 4d6.
Yes, so it does the, no, it turns into a lightning bolt.
It's, what?
It's just straight 4d6 lightning.
Straight 46, do 46 damage for me.
Okay. 14 damage. Do I add anything to it?
No.
Okay.
This is like a spell.
Okay.
You do 14 damage as it's like,
That is what I wanted to know.
the cavern lights up again from a different source of light as a lightning bolt suddenly just extends from Amber's hand straight into the wall and through the actual Umber Hulk herself.
Accompanied by a
Whoa!
Hey Tim,
Yep.
on a hit, the target takes
Why
damage
is
from
also-
the javelin plus 4d6 lightning.
Okay, roll the hit then.
Oh, okay. On a hit?
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, so
So-
do I have to roll the hit?
Yes.
Yes.
In that case, I'll use reckless.
The beam effect of it, of being able to penetrate through things, stops as soon as it hits the intended target. So if
Yep.
you intend it to be the last one in the line, it will hit through all of them and then stop there.
13 plus 7, so yes.
Yes, see.
And then, so it's 1d6 plus 4. 6 plus 4.
Jesus Christ, you guys are rolling max
Are you
damage.
raging too?
Yep.
Necrotics.
Oh, do I add that to this?
Yep.
Technically, yes.
Oh, shit, that's a d6.
Yeah, so add your
And
rage.
my rage damage? Oh, God!
Yep.
Oh, God!
She's gonna like explode this one in one hit.
Yeah, it's basically boom, stacked. I mean, that's Amber's thing. Damage from all sources.
Yeah.
Plus 1 damage for radiant. And then
+3 for your level as well,
for
I
my
assume.
level, yeah.
+2 for rage, so you didn't add 6 points, is that assumed?
Oh yeah.
So how much damage was that all up?
30 points of damage.
Nice.
What the?
In one attack from a
Oh
javelin.
boy.
Yeah, that was nearly a sneak attack.
You see, so because of the way you've basically described it, we've all realised that yes, you could do that. This javelin comes out, hits the intended target, and the lightning bolt comes from your hand towards this Umber Hulk. You also notice that the magics of your god that you do not know about, haven't known about for quite some time, this purple energy sort of winds around the lightning bolt as it's coming through the air, and then smacks it right in, and you can feel the energy suck out the life force of this creature, as well as the zapping of the lightning bolt as well.
So it went necrotic, not...
Yes.
Oh, shit. Okay. She doesn't have control over it,
Yes.
so yeah.
That looked cool.
Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't.
Yeah.
That was fucking...
She always tries to do,
Cool
like...
around it.
But yeah.
Alright, that was Amber. You've moved forward, you've thrown your javelin.
Yeah,
and that's,
so I
you
clearly
are
have the
done.
attention of this one in front of her.
Alright.
I think so.
Yeah.
Alright, can we move that Umber Hulk towards Amber, please?
It also has advantage on attacks against me.
What do they sound like, Tim?
Like an Umber Hulk?
Flawless.
Yeah, that's good enough. Go with that.
That's me.
What's the...
Probably the best way to put it would be a chittering. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the noise I made, but with chittering undertones.
I don't know.
What's their movement speed?
Sorry?
What's their movement speed? Because I'll move all of them towards us.
Yes, move more towards you.
That's a gibbering mouther, I think.
Okay.
30 feet.
No, gibbering mouther is more like. Yeah, that one's going to engage me.
That's a lot more than 30, by the way.
Probably.
It's fine, as long as it's not.
Yeah.
Right, I know it's not enough to get into hand-to-hand combat. What's your movement again? Standard movement?
My standard movement is 40 foot.
So you do move slightly out of range of that creature. Okay, cool. That's good. So he can't attack, So it's only Amber, realistically, that I can actually...
Yeah,
No, it's
and-
not. It's 30.
It is 30?
That's not right. I swear I have high movement.
That's just if you choose to move.
Yeah,
you
as
can move
a
twice your
tabaxi
speed.
thing, you can move twice your speed, yeah. Which makes more sense, so actually he'll be in hand-to-hand combat with you then.
Alright, I'll take it.
Yep.
You're a bit closer.
Alright, so against Amber.
Advantage.
Yep. I've hit anyway, but I'll see if I can get a crit. No, roll same roll. 7 points of damage comes in as it comes in and claws you, and then tries to bite you with its mandibles as well.
Is that piercing?
Yeah.
Halved? Okay.
Yep.
So 4 damage. 3 damage.
That was shit. Another 10 points of damage as it also tries to bite you with its mandibles.
Did you say 10?
Yes.
So 5?
So 5, yes, and then it comes in with its third claw attack. And does 8 points of damage, so another 4 to you. Comes in.
Was that a walrus I heard?
Yep. Does the same to you. Comes in with a claw attack. That was a lot more damage. So 12, actually. It might not hit. 17?
16. So yeah.
That's it. Alright, so you just took 12 points of damage from the first claw. Second claw comes in doing 6 points of damage.
Hang on, where's my pencil?
12 and 7 so far, so that, and that one's also a hit for 17 points of damage as the
I'm
mandibles
going to
come
half the last one with
Yep.
Uncanny Dodge.
Uncanny Dodge,
So
yep.
18 plus half of 17 is
8.
8.
That last
So 45 minus 26. Jesus.
You're getting pincushion.
Yeah, you're getting mauled.
These guys are chompy.
They are chompy. Yes, very chompy.
Do not let them do the chomp.
All right, back to the top of the round. Oddclaw, can you please make me a charisma saving throw?
Fuck.
What do you mean, fuck? You're good at charisma.
Yeah, but I know what they do. And that wasn't good.
You add a d4.
Yeah.
You do, yes, you do add a d4.
Excellent. That probably saved me.
It probably
Took it up
did.
to a 14. It didn't save me, did it?
No, it didn't.
Yeah.
By 1?
By one.
What's gonna happen?
All right.
Yeah.
No, worse.
Okay.
Confusion.
No.
When a creature starts with its turn within 30 feet of an Umber Hulk and able to see its eyes, DC 15 charisma save.
Otherwise it turns on its
You
face.
can't take reactions. Also, roll me a d8.
Huh?
Roll me a d8.
You can't take reactions.
Yes.
3.
You do nothing.
Okay, thought so.
Antoine.
Being tired. Oh.
Yeah, it's a stun turn.
Oh my
Am I
god.
within 30 feet?
Where are you in the middle?
Everyone is.
Everyone is, basically,
Okay.
yes.
Only if you can see their eyes. Oh yeah, everyone is okay.
So I'm going to
Everyone's seeing their eyes because you shouldn't be metagaming that you can't see their eyes, so you're just basically looking at these things coming towards you.
No, like within 30 feet. I was just thinking like theoretically the one over there wouldn't hit Imperious, but I guess it kind of is.
I'm going by probably you're focusing on the one you're doing most of the damage to at this present moment. in
Oh,
time, which-
Amber is definitely looking straight.
Oh,
at
yeah.
I was gonna say,
Definitely.
I'm the
Antoine.
only one who
I was-
might not be
I was
because
talking
I was
about Imperious-
buffing people rather than
Squinting
attacking.
into the dark.
I'm gonna-
But even then, yeah.
Yeah.
So it says.
I was gonna say,
saving
I'm
throw-
the
throw
only one
initiative.
that could
I'm in
potentially.
a lot of trouble.
21.
You are fine. Go for it, your turn.
I moved to attack that grey-looking one
You move to attack the grey looking one?
because that's about the only one I can reach.
Reach, yeah. Roll for it.
That should be a 20.
Nice.
Getting nice. You're doing well tonight. You
And
should
that's
keep
20.
these dice.
A natural 20.
Oh,
What's
yes,
going
really
on?
Nice.
These dice do good for you.
Alright, come on.
So double damage. Let's do it.
Where's my other thing? Can I do that other thing?
You want to do a smite?
I'm trying to remember where I can do.
Ah, come on!
Shut up.
Can everyone else who's about to have their turn please get themselves ready with what they're actually doing so we
When I
don't...
change oath, I forget that that all the divinities change. I'm like, can I do? No, I can't do the divinity anymore. I just do it with the fucking axe thing.
to walruses.
Where is it? 8. This. That would be 8 damage. What do I do for? I can't remember. It's been so long since I had.
Alright, what are you trying to do? Just tell me what you're trying to do.
Hit it with the axe.
Then hit it with an axe. Roll a d20.
I did.
You rolled a
I got
natural
20.
20.
So
Yeah, what's your damage
What's your
dice
damage?
for?
I can't remember how to do
D8.
crits.
Oh,
Alright,
roll the dice.
all of the dice. Alright, so hey, stop. Alright? What you should be doing as a paladin, obviously you at level 7, you still don't know how to play a character. You
Oh,
have
he's
rolled a
changed his
natural.
character.
You have rolled a natural 20.
Yes.
This is where you go. Cool. I'm going to smite for the highest possible smite that I could possibly do because a crit doubles all of the dice.
So you use a second level spell slot.
So you use a second level spell slot. It basically adds a d8 per spell slot on top of the damage you normally do.
which is 2d8.
So 40.
So no, you guys are you're confusing him again. What's your axe damage?
1d8 plus 3.
Okay, and then 2d8 for the smite, and then because it's a crit, it becomes 6d8
Yes.
Plus 3,
plus 3. Yes.
which is the important bit, right?
You were effectively hitting him with the effects of a fireball almost.
And you are legally allowed to do that on
You
the
need more?
on the notion of success to actually put a smite in. That's why paladins are really powerful.
Because you do it post-roll.
Yes, you don't have to do it straight away.
That was not so good. 7, 7, 8.
Yeah, 28.
28.
28 points of damage against the Umberhog.
Nice.
Plus
Plus
3.
Plus 3.
No,
Plus you
plus
have
3.
Plus 3.
Sorry, plus 3, 31. On one attack. One attack, you've done 31 points of damage against the Umberhog as you feel the green tendrils of energy come in as you do your attack with your great axe. Sorry, your battle axe into this creature.
Which is 18. So, yeah. Second one was a miss.
What?
What'd you
18
get?
hits.
Second attack.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't. It was 11 plus 6.
So it's
17. That's,
It's a miss.
oh, it's 18.
Did you add the d4 for the bless?
You didn't bless me.
No, you didn't.
everybody but him.
Everybody but Anton.
Yeah. Because that's right, because I was going to bless you and you were like, no,
Yeah.
him.
I'm confused why you blessed him, but anyway.
Yeah. I'm not going to be using it much.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why.
But that was a lot of damage. 31 points of damage in one single attack as the
Bonus
smite
actions
comes
move
out
in
and
there?
rips apart a new
action
hole
move that will be.
in
Oh,
this
action, yeah.
Earth Elemental / Umberhog.
And
Alright.
Tom's really strong now that he's changed to nature.
Volkia.
I'm going to move the moving.
I'm tossing up between just sending another spell or.
Oh, is that-
You have
Oh,
to roll a
that's
save
action.
first.
That's
That's
action.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, do a saving throw, yes.
with d4.
And it's a charisma save.
Yes.
Yes.
Should be okay.
I will not be.
Oh, neither will I.
Plus 5.
However,
I might
guys,
be
you've got to
okay.
realise if you are within 10 feet of the paladin over there, you do get bonus to your saves.
Plus 3.
19.
No, you are fine at 19.
Problem is, most
Do I cast
Most of them aren't because I moved
Spiritual
away.
Guardian?
No, because you moved out. Yeah, probably the only person that might be.
Yes, do it.
It's Vulcan.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm
yeah.
going to cast. Actually, I'm going to move here,
That's good.
the halfway point between both of them,
Yep.
for a 15-foot radius,
Yep.
and cast Spirit Guardians.
Yeah, I knew what you were doing.
What does that do again?
Calls for spirits to protect me. They float around you at a distance of 15 feet. If you're good or neutral, basically a bunch of angels appear and
That's
start
right, I
attacking
know.
those within 15 feet of me. The first time, when a creature enters the area for the first time or starts a turn there, must make a Wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature takes 3d8 radiant damage.
Alright, so wisdom save. So I'll do the red one. Was that guy? What's the wisdom DC?
15.
15 wisdom saves. I failed both of them.
Can I have?
Headshot.
Do you have some extra d8s?
Yes.
I only have one. And I need 3.
Thank you for
Yeah.
saving me.
Do you need more?
I'm so fucked.
You are. I'm like, yeah.
Glass
There he
cannon
is.
build.
Glass cannon build, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that wasn't as great. So, 13.
13 damage.
13 to both.
Okay,
So
13 to
26
both.
damage.
As these really weird angel-looking fairy things come out and just engulf the whole area, and the two Umberhawks are like,
And also, while they're in that area,
13
they
damage,
have...
you said?
Pardon?
13 damage, you said, sorry?
Yeah, 13 each. They have halved movement speed while in the area of the Spirit Guardians.
Alright, that's pretty good.
And then I also attack with my spiritual
Spiritual
weapon.
weapon, yes.
Get in the back end
It
of
moves
that.
up closer to the back of this guy.
Yeah.
As the twirling blade, the twirling
Mace.
macey thingies of
I think
the
I missed
scales.
that one.
Crit fail.
Did you add the after 4? Yeah, you did.
Sorry, I'm so used to not attacking.
Oh.
Oh, you 7.
11 plus...
Not to mention all the people miscasting
It'll be plus
rules
7,
because they
so
don't actually
18.
read them properly.
So
And
18.
also the other character who plays a
And-
druid.
That's
Yes.
a hit. Just
18.
18 is the exact number you need.
Exact number I need. And 1d8. Plus my wisdom. So 10.
That's against 10. That's nice.
Oh, yeah.
So 36 damage. in
Maximum
total.
damage again.
But
What's
spread
going
out a
on?
bit.
Which one are you going for? Fire element?
Yeah, that's the fire
No,
emblem.
yeah, the one that's after you.
That's gotta kill it.
Nope.
Nope. These things have lots of health.
Hell the hell. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm scared.
I'm in danger.
You're in danger. Alright, that was
Considering
Volk.
I'm on 19
Imperius.
health.
I mean, Amber's fine.
I was going to cast a fireball there, but I think you might be hit by it now.
Yeah,
Probably.
No,
heal him.
no, back there. I can probably get both of them.
Oh, it's pretty borderline.
Well, first of all, I'm going to do my saving throw. That's
Yeah.
Not a problem.
Easy.
You're done.
That's our
You're
torture
done.
roll.
that's
17.
30.
I rolled.
with
A what?
Nah, it's like close enough.
Close enough,
Might as
yeah.
well be. Yeah, I've got a +7, so yeah, that's stupid high.
Yep.
All right, I'm going to move forward though to around about there-ish.
Why are the
And-
squishy people moving towards
Because they're moving
big
away
thing?
from the other Umberhawk hasn't been touched yet.
The one that Rowan can tank as a bear, yeah?
I have a -2 to my charisma save.
As a
Well, shit.
I'm going to move.
I should have turned around.
I'm going to cast Cure Wounds at level.
So this is where the bless is going to come in handy.
At level
We'll see.
3.
How much is that?
So that will be 3d8
Oh, that's pretty good.
Oh, I should have cast bloody
What can I
thinner.
add
plus my spell
inspiration
test.
to? Attack
Attack
rolls
rolls?
and
Saves.
saving throws?
Beyond
Okay, but not ability checks.
You can do it to ability checks too. It's
I thought
inspiration
it
across
was
the board.
ability checks, not saves.
No, you can, for inspiration across the board, but for the bless only for saves and attacks.
Okay.
I should
Okay.
cast Speaking Hope.
You should have. That is.
I don't think it's going to matter. I'm getting a pretty good heal out of that.
I was going to say, yeah, it's you back on full health. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so you've done a heal. Anything else you're doing?
I will give inspiration because you have not used yours yet.
No, I haven't used mine. I didn't need it last
Yeah.
turn.
I will give inspiration to Antoine.
Me?
Yeah, do 30 damage again.
Do I have to try and break that confusion every time?
Or
is it
if
just
you resist it, does it
Starting
stay?
within 30 foot.
Sometimes creatures have clauses that say if you resist it once,
One
then
once
it
you're
won't.
immune for the next 24 hours. Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah, no, it's every turn.
Okay. Until I've resisted
It's
it.
no. Stop asking questions. We'll get to it.
You don't know.
You don't know exactly.
It's
All right. So that was. Sorry, I got distracted again. That was Imperius. So you're done now.
Yes.
Okay,
after
Rowan.
inspiration.
Okay.
Crisp save, please.
Let's see if any of the planning I've been doing is worth a damn.
Oh no.
No. What?
9.
Roll a d10. Sorry, a d8.
Okay.
I can't even uncanny dodge.
8.
No, this might wipe me one here.
Can you make an attack roll against Amber?
Yeah, I was gonna say
I do have a longbow out. So
Yes,
yeah.
exactly right.
So I'm all like, it's okay, I'm gonna shoot this one, and then I just like drop at the last second and release. And I guess I add bless to that as well because
You do.
Now that is enough.
To hit Amber, yes.
25.
more than 16 you hit me.
Yeah, so how much damage do you do to her?
I deal 10 points of damage to you.
So 5.
So it's 5, like
Yes.
she's there.
Still maximum.
We're just like, ugh.
Alright,
Ah!
that was Rowan.
Right
Oh,
in the
no.
buttocks.
I feel so bad.
Amber.
Emma feels betrayed.
You feel this arrow it's back in the back.
She glance back and it's just me
It's
going,
like them with a big bow.
Amber just goes, he must just have poor aim. Oh well. It couldn't possibly, it must be a mistake. And she continues on the Umber Hulk just here.
Yep, go for it.
Just 2 attacks against
You've
it.
got to save first too, though.
Ah, yeah, you
save,
did got to
yeah.
save as well, yes.
What do I roll?
Charisma.
You're blessed as well. So
You are blessed,
and
yes.
A D4.
I don't think it mattered.
Yeah, I don't think it did. Roll a d8 for me, please.
It didn't matter. I rolled.
Did you roll all of the dice?
all of the dice?
What
it
did you
didn't
get?
matter. 14.
You rolled. You're blessed for d4. What did you roll in your d20 first? Audience would like to know.
8
You rolled an 8 on you and there, and you rolled in your d4.
plus 2
Yep, so 10.
plus 3.
So 13.
No, plus 4.
Okay, so you rolled a 4 then. That's...
No, plus 3 and then plus 1 for my charisma.
Yep. Ah, that makes
Yeah,
more sense.
that's what I said. I was like, no, I didn't roll a 4.
rough.
And you're not close enough to the paladin.
Correct. Can you roll me a d8?
I can roll a d8. I rolled a 3.
You rolled a 3. You do absolutely nothing.
I'm too stunned by the betrayal of my friend.
Yeah, that's very true.
Oh no.
All right.
Conflicted!
Well,
Can we move that Umber Hulk in next to Amber, please? Because it's, I think she's the closest for that one. Yes,
I
that
would have
one.
also made a big flashy light, which, attracts attention.
I can almost not fail the save.
Did you say 30 feet?
yeah.
Yes.
Plus 7, plus
That's
3 from
gonna
the
get her.
AM, minimum roll 1. So I roll a minimum 11.
All right. First and foremost, the Umber Hulk with the big 2 double giant massive claws and the mandibles come up against the cat, try to get a bit of fur into its mouth.
They no longer have
this is
advantage on me, by the way.
The 2 that are near me.
Lowest I rolled out of 3 attacks was a 14.
The 2 that are near me, because they've started their turn within the.
They take damage.
They take damage.
Or do they save first?
They do the save. Wisdom
Okay.
save again.
Let me do the attacks first so I can
Yeah,
get them
yeah.
out of the way. Okay, so
Unless it dies.
unless it died. I usually doubt it. Which one is it? Oh, it could be the red one.
Yeah. There's
Alright.
a chance.
I'll
That's the
do
most wounded too.
Yeah, it's very weird.
fails to save. Roll
Okay.
me some damage.
Nice and high.
Hopefully. Not really.
Average?
Average. So 14.
14 damage.
Bad.
That's not bad at all. That makes it 1 point over its maximum hit points.
The fluff lives on!
Cannonball protects all!
And it just like
Another
falls
day
at
for
my
Fluffy.
feet.
So I'm going to use this 18, 14, and 18 against Antoine. Fuck yes.
That's fair.
It's also going to do a save as well for your damage. So right, so take the flame elemental one off. It is now being
Crumbles
killed
down.
from the angels.
It's big enough that it would be big terrain, so just tip it over.
That's true.
It'd be rough terrain.
Oh, you saved my ass so much then. I had no reactions. And no one
It's just
told me
average
off.
damage. Had 13 hit points left.
Yeah, but I had no uncanny dodge due to last.
It was meant to be.
So-
Cannibal protects his servants.
Alright,
That could've
also
been
do
bad.
damage for the other one. Do damage for the other one.
They just take the same damage.
Ah, 14? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
It's the same damage for both, unless they save and then they only
Alright,
take
now
half.
it hits you 3 times because I rolled a minimum of 14 and get plus 8 to all my rolls.
Jesus.
Damn.
Lunge.
So the
Holy
two
shit.
claws.
Yeah, they hit like a freight train.
Yeah, they do hit like a freight train. The 2 claws
If I'd
do
known that, I would've
22 points of
disengaged,
damage
yeah.
for the claws alone. 22 points of damage for the claws alone. Oh my god. And 20 points for the bite. So 41 points of damage from the Umber Hulk as it gnaws into you and claws you at your body.
Ouch.
Against Amber.
That dropped me.
They don't have advantage.
Yes, because you didn't get a chance to reckless, because you didn't get a chance to do anything with it. I think I've probably hit you at 17 being my last roll.
I think so.
Yes, alright.
God, Tim, you're doing so well.
I am rolling phenomenal.
This is
So
Genuinely
the bite
impressive.
attack does 14 points of damage. The claw attacks
So-
do 23 points of damage, so it becomes 38.
Total.
28, then halve it, so...
17.
So 17.
Yeah.
Yep,
Yeah.
something like that.
No, 19.
19. I was going to say 19.
Yeah, 19.
19.
Oh,
Yeah,
19.
plus 15,
Yeah.
yeah.
Sorry, I couldn't remember which
That was
way
the very first of the 2 Umber Hulks.
Yep,
The second
that's
one
fine.
comes in minimum of 19.
Beg pardon? Oh,
Roll,
Plus 8.
roll,
Plus
roll.
8.
I get plus 8.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, otherwise it's 2 crits and a 19.
Yes.
Jesus.
20 flat on the bite. Sorry, not 20 flat on the bite. 15 flat on the bite. 15 and 15. So 30. So 15 points of damage. She took 30. So half that 15.
How you
So
doing?
She's lucky she's a barbarian.
Oh god.
That would take down pretty much anyone in the party.
Yeah.
that is 31 health.
Yeah, take
Left.
me down because I've only got 60 health back, so I've got no.
These do hit like
Oh, yeah,
a these
all
hit
you
like a
people
freight
with
train.
over
All my
plus 40 health.
protections are against
That's
magic.
why I was saying target one at a time, take them quickly, get rid of the freight train hits.
Amber's concern is taking as much brunt away from
Yeah.
you guys.
Yeah.
Literally, that is her only concern
cool.
ever.
Alright.
that is what she fights
charisma
for.
Save?
Mm-hmm.
Is to keep you guys
Oh,
alive.
I saved it that time.
Okay, cool beans.
18.
Yep, not a problem. So you save the
You still got
confusion save.
Yep. I'm going to use as a free action. As a free action, I'm going to activate feline agility, so my movement speed is double this turn.
Yep.
I'm going to immediately backflip over the paladin and land on the other Umber Hulk's head and stab it in the face.
Okay, go for it.
So, this one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, that's
He's
shitty.
gonna backflip onto the Umber Hulk, then stab it in
Snap
its
one.
butt, apparently.
It's that one.
Natural 1. Yeah, you don't really expect us to do all that well in your
It just bounces off a
fantastic
bit of
little attack.
armor.
In fact, I rolled also a natural 1 to see how bad your natural 1 was.
Oh my.
What happens?
You
Breaks
land
it.
on the top of his head. It has got like a little bit of a spike thing happening.
Oh, so I'm going to get hurt.
Not only are you going to get hurt, you also your legs are spread over eagle. Over
I was gonna
it.
say you're gonna get sodomized.
Yeah.
Oh boy!
Yeah, pretty
Getting
much.
nutted by the...
4 points of damage.
Oh, that's not too bad. I'm going to go. Pull a
Tail
dagger
just goes.
and
Pull the dagger out and
pull
have
the
it.
dagger and stab it with that instead. 18.
That hits. That's a magic number.
Sweet. And I'm going to get sneak on that.
You certainly are, because there is someone else in combat with it.
We've gone way over.
Oh, even if there wasn't, I'd get it.
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, I would.
You would.
Yes, I would. Because it's by itself.
Because there was, if that
Swashbuckler.
particular person, yeah, I understand why, because of a swashbuckler.
Yeah.
But it's also because there are other people within the area as well. That's what I'm talking about. But
Yeah,
just
they're
roll.
all allies to me.
Doesn't matter. Roll your attacks.
Okay. 4 times 3, 12 plus 15 is plus 5. Sorry, is 17. Plus 4 is 21.
21 points of damage.
And then I'm going to disengage right the fuck out. With my double movement speed, I can get to about here.
Yep.
Just watch out for the moonbeam.
Yeah. Basically,
I assume you put the moonbeam
how
down.
far is 30 foot?
Oh, it's
Otherwise,
still there.
we'll make a concentration save from the damage you took then.
That's isn't it? That's 30 foot?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
16.
15, 20, 25, 30, 35. Actually, should be, yeah, probably.
No, I only want to move 30 foot out to avoid its stunning thing from
I'm
looking
gonna
in its
attack once,
eyes.
You got attacked 3
Because
times.
I know that
and
was
you
not.
get 2 dice, so you can make 2 more.
So this is where I
So you have
start
to
with
make
10.
one
No,
attack.
Each separate piece of damage.
You definitely know how far it's at.
Oh,
You know what?
yeah, good point. Alright, in that case, I'm just going to get the fuck out of dodge and move out.
I was
That
gonna
sounds
say,
better.
more likely you're a cat and you're like, this thing, the other thing fucked me up and getting away as far
I
as I
was
can
more
from
surprised
this
that
thing.
when he rolled the 1 that he instead of jumping onto the thing's head, he landed on a stalagmite instead, hanging from the ceiling.
Tim, the beam is gone.
The beam is gone?
Yeah, the second roll failed.
Ah, yes. Alright, that was Oddclaw. So, Antoine.
Smash.
Do I smash or do I lay on hands?
Smash.
How bad
Smash.
Let me smash.
19 of 16.
Hey, Becky.
I think I should just press
Smash.
Oof. Up to you, man. Up to you.
Fuck it, smash. Smash.
What would Antoine do?
What would Brian Bortano do?
I mean, you have just kicked ass very successfully.
After this, can we?
That's why I'm trying to get this combat done quickly.
I need to go.
I know to go too.
I also need to go.
I have first dibs.
He swings and he misses, so he lays on hands instead.
You can no.
No. Damn it!
You also can swing twice. Remember that.
I know that. That would be 16.
It's also a miss. You feel your battle axe come clang off this hard chitinous body of this Umber Hulk. All right, let's try and get this done quickly if we can, folks. So that's who's next?
Me.
Yes, Volk. Yes, followed by Imperius. You're up next.
First of all, I'll move my
Spiritual weapon
Yep.
to attack.
Yep.
I'm gonna
What?
cheat and just go and pee right now.
Yeah, go. Yeah, might as well. Might as well.
If I get the beacon up, my spirit guardians disappear. That's it. 14 plus 7.
21.
So yeah. So and then 1d8 damage. That is a 5 plus 4, 9 damage.
9
For the spiritual
damage.
I have. What do I have? I
As the
have
spiritual weapons whirls about again, and the bowls from the scales smack to
I really like the mental image of throwing just scales.
And you just read the chat.
Instead of the bowls, they're blades.
Oh boy.
I do that camping, don't worry.
I don't want to know. I camp next to you.
What pistons?
Piss in the bottle. That's
bottle,
hiding behind
man.
the
Oh.
Man, it beats getting up. I have to go to the toilets all the time.
I disagree.
Come on, your tent was about 15 feet from the
I know.
toilet.
This time it was fantastic.
I don't know. I kind of like the midnight walks at 2 a.m. That sentence didn't make sense. I know, but that's fine.
The midnight walks at 2 a.m.
That's what you
What are you doing? What are you doing?
I'm gonna
Sorry
cast
for all of the
cantrip
viewers and
at the moment.
whatnot. My party just keep forgetting that they actually play D&D.
I'm ready to go.
I know you're ready.
I'm easy, man.
We know.
Smash. Shut up, you.
We know you smash.
I'm gonna cast Toll of the Dead. So can you make me a wisdom save?
Wisdom save, Toll the Dead, which I passed again. I am rolling phenomenally tonight.
Yeah, except
Yeah,
for
no,
all the
you-
times that you're in my spirit guardians. You
Yeah, that's
failed
true.
every single
the spirit
guardian
guardians
check.
was horrible, yes. But I saved
no,
against
I'm
that.
like-
So
I
you've
rolled
done
the
your
same.
attack as your bonus action because you had to move it, and you've also done your normal attacks being a Toll the Dead. All right, done.
Completely.
That means you.
Tim,
Yes.
he didn't actually roll his save.
Oh, good point. You didn't either. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's too late now.
You missed with both of them. So it doesn't
Yeah.
He
I forgot to do.
effectively got
I forgot
stunned
to
in
do
his...
Volk here for your save as well.
Alright, my save... Ooh, I might actually fail.
You've got the plus 3
Plus
from
three.
him as well.
Yes, because you are within
So
10 feet.
14, but I can add my 2d4 from the first
Which is
failed
enough to
save.
pass.
Yeah, so I pass.
Is it 14 plus 3 or is it just 14?
Wow, he passed the save on a 2.
What? How'd you get that?
Well, I've got a +7 for charisma.
Yeah. Good point. 'Cause
And
you're
then
a
I've got
sorcerer.
his the aura, so I've got a +10
Yes,
straight off
the
the bat. And
So
then
you've
the 2d4
got 12.
on top.
Yeah.
And then the 2d4 on top. I'm going to distance cast Cure Wounds on Amber at level...
12.
She's screwed, so I'm going to go for the 4th level cast.
I mean, thanks, I think.
No, it's a good idea. 'Cause most of us.
To be fair, I am tanking 2 of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah, well, most of us can keep our distance. You can't.
Good point.
Yeah, totally keep my distance.
The range
The charisma
spells.
save. So he's a sorcerer. So at level 7, they've got +3, which is their proficiency, +4 for charisma. Yeah.
Yes.
So +7 actually is low, considering realistically.
No.
Well, it's probably
it's the highest I can possibly have it.
Yeah.
Proficiency bonus plus charisma.
Unless
Unless I went for...
you went
this
straight
stat-
charisma.
yeah.
Yeah.
But,
Being that he's a sorcerer, so yeah.
that is... 26.
26 health.
Awesome.
Unless I use my...
Okay.
I'm going to use an added magic point to re-roll one of them.
Okay. Hang on. Before
Empowered
you do-
healing.
We've gone through this before again.
Empowered healing is separate. It allows me
And
to
you
use
can
it.
do it.
Yeah.
No. It's more of the case of you have... I'm going to say no for now, because I will explain to you when we go for a break.
Okay, but I definitely know that I can.
I will tell you why in a minute.
Okay.
Because I know you've forgotten it, and it's come up before.
No. Empowered healing is not one of the meta magic choices.
It's got
I
nothing
choose.
to do... What do you mean?
Empowered healing is my divine soul.
It's a.
the divine soul word.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's
but...
Asthma trait.
Yeah,
right?
I know what you were thinking.
Yeah,
No.
sorry, alright, yeah.
I've stopped doing that because I realised what I was making a mistake of that.
Yeah.
That's much better, so you get an extra 6 hit points.
+6
So
as
you
well.
heal 32 instead of 26.
Spicy.
It's a nice heal.
This is a very healing-heavy group, realistically.
Yeah.
Well, I built myself as a support. And then
Between both you and the druid, which is really surprising.
It's interesting.
And
All
now,
of us can heal.
cleric, paladin,
Yeah.
druid, and a sorcerer
A
who's
lot
divine
of
soul.
classes
It's
get
interesting-
access to healing.
It's interesting
for
that
5th
all
edition.
healing tanks, except for me, which is glass cannon.
I'm not a healing
I'm
tank.
not a healing tank.
He's a
Healing
I'm
or
I'm
tank.
a glass cannon.
I'm
He's
a
a
meat
glass
bag.
cannon.
I'm
Yeah.
literally a
Healing
meat
or
bag.
tank.
Anyway, sorry, guys, we're getting distracted.
I need pee, yeah, please.
Imperious.
I need to-
So Rowan,
Okay, I am to
Doing a
try
saving
and
throw
make a
first?
Save again.
You can do it.
I don't believe you. I don't. I'm bad.
I'll say brother when you get
It's-
the book.
8 minus 2.
It's 6.
roll a d8 for me again.
Come on. I know with confusion that you can do something if you roll the correct number.
Roll a 3.
3.
You do nothing.
I know.
Alright,
Amber, yes.
She's going to attack an ally this time.
But I can be so useful.
You can.
Nah, so Troll's Maiden, the +7 is on the save modifier. So saving throw
Don't forget your
modifiers
bless.
are usually
And
higher
plus
than your
3.
actual
no, you're not
ability
close
modifier.
I am going to choose to re-roll this as my barbarian trait because I rolled a 5.
Choose to. Okay.
I can do it once per day.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean.
And
What did you
five-
roll again?
5.
You roll a 5 again.
Buddy.
Never mind. Never mind. I'll roll a d8. 6.
Which becomes.
No, you told me to roll. Like when I
D8.
fail, I gotta roll a d8.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
So you
so
failed for your
6.
saving throw. Yes. You rolled a 6, did you?
Yes.
It's bad.
Oh no.
Do I attack Rowan?
No. I'm gonna say 1 is this way. You move randomly that way, away from the 2 upper ones.
How far?
But I get an attack of opportunity on me.
You do get a token.
You get
I'm gonna
2.
Is it
say
35
you move only 10 feet away.
Oh, so like way closer. Yeah, like there.
And they both take.
Actually, no, they don't.
Why?
Why?
I'm gonna say they don't for now because I'm pretty sure that if it's an if it's a forced move,
Yeah.
it's a forced
Oh,
move.
because-
I'm pretty sure it's not considered forced because it's her own confusion, therefore it's her action.
It's my choice to move away,
very good,
even though
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's forced if it's
because it's
a
not
clear
they're
force,
they're not
but-
influencing me to
Yeah,
move.
they're not
They're-
shoving her away.
they-
It's her choice to move away because she's lost her mind.
They're influencing my decision, like my
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
that
sense of
makes sense.
decisions rather than.
All right. So does a 16 hit?
Yes, that's my armor class.
All right. So both.
Unless I had the belt. Damn it.
Both of them hit.
It's okay. It's better on you than me.
Trollman says, "Damn," said no. So the first Umber Hulk does 13 points of damage to you, so half of that. So it becomes 6.
I know, but I'd rather
13 as well becomes 6 again. So 12 points of damage overall.
even if it's shit for us.
Alright, that was Amber. So 2 things. Amber, let me just
Hang
quickly...
on, let me maths. What is it? Minus 12. Yep,
At least
okay.
you're still raging.
I am.
That's true.
Every
true.
time I take damage, I maintain my rage.
You maintain your range, yeah.
Does stun stop rage? Or
I think
shit?
what's important actually, Trollman, is that if we try to do the best to sort of not only get the rules right as much as we can, even if we do override them, we're consciously overriding them instead of fucking them up. Because if people are watching this and playing D&D, they will learn from us doing this. And if certain scenarios like that come up aboard and we can actually think it out properly and give everyone a certain response to it, then yeah, it helps those who watch us and play
Everyone has
D&D.
their own interpretation.
It's also the fair argument play. Like, if I make a fair argument the other way, that I should be able to do something that's technically not in the rules, it's still fair play. So the fair play rule works both ways.
Yeah, we try and be honest about it in both directions.
Yeah.
Alright, so the 2 Umber Hulks are now just going to move up to you
Yep, that's fine.
and maul you to death, I think.
Oh, probably. I am on low health.
Alright, luckily one of the 2 hits have missed.
Oh, that's nice.
The bite does...
One of the 6 hits.
Yeah, exactly, one of the 6 hits.
I hope they don't kill you.
Only 10 points of damage from the bite, which
Okay,
you could
so
do a
minus
crap load
5.
more than that, so it's only 5, and only 7 from the claw, so only
So
3
minus
points of
3?
damage. Yes.
And then the next one.
And the next one, that was actually really low damage from the first Umber Hulk. The second one misses with a claw again, so it's 2 claw misses. So the very first being the bite, does 13 points of damage, so 6 for you. And do the wrong, doesn't matter. No, sorry, that was not right.
That's pretty good.
And only 8 points, so 4 points for the claw.
So 4 points.
They came into you and sliced at you and bit you up a little bit and whatnot, but you sort of like brunted most of the attack from them.
That's
I'm
really
okay.
good.
I'm okay. I'm okay.
That's actually really good.
That was
Yeah, I'm
yeah,
okay.
that was low damage rolls. Yeah,
Oh yeah. That could have been like...
that could have been a lot worse.
I could have
Yeah.
been literally dead.
All right, so that was the Umber Hulk. So 2 things. If you want to go to the toilet while we're doing the rest of the round, you can, Amber.
Because you're about to go down anyway.
Oh, thanks.
No, it's not even going to be her turn for a while. It is now your turn to do a saving throw.
It's alright. We know what I'm going to
no,
do
I'm
when
out
it's
of
my
range.
turn anyway.
Yes, you are.
I
You are.
specifically disengaged. So I'm just going to drop a dagger, so that it doesn't count as an object interaction, and use my tail to pull my crossbow out of my backpack and pass it to my hand, like an automatic pass-forward system, and just go woof and take a shot at the nearest Umber Hulk.
All right, go for it.
And it's not too bad. It's a 15.
That's a
What's
miss.
your inspiration dice?
I do too. What's your inspiration?
DC.
D6.
It hits now.
It does.
Yeah.
Becomes a 19.
19.
All right, roll your damage.
And that
Which
gets
one are you
sneak
into?
because it's a finesse weapon.
Mm-hmm. Crossbow? Oh, hand crossbow.
No, it's a straight crossbow. Because I bought.
Ah,
I
yes.
said I could
Yep,
buy
yep,
it. Yeah. So 1d8, one. What the fuck am I doing? I've never used this. There we go. And plus 4. So it's good.
Oh, that's real good.
Yeah. No, it averages out 2 1s, 2 6s.
Yeah.
14.
2 1s, 2 6s. Yeah, that's right.
14 plus 18. Yeah, it's 18.
18?
Yeah.
18? 18, 80, 92.
No, plus 4. Sorry, 22.
Because I was going to say, it had 1 hit point left.
Oh,
So now it's dead.
The big
good. Stone one.
The big stone one is now dead.
Alright.
As the as the Tabaxi realizes that probably being a bit too close to it has befuddled his brain. He's like sopped out, jumped out of the combat, so he's far away. Pulls out his light crossbow with his tail, aims at the creature right between the gaps in its plating, and this creature's like and falls at the ground.
And I'm going to use the bonus action
Ooh,
to lick
nice.
the massive scratch on my arm.
One number Hulk. All right, Antoine.
Lay on hands.
Lay on hands on yourself.
Yep.
Done. Any bonus action?
Can you, oh.
I can't cast 2 spells. Oh, hang on. Can I? Because is lay on hands can
Lay on hands is an ability, not a
It's
spell.
an action.
No, then Shield of Faith.
Shield of Faith. That's bonus action.
I'll touch
Are you placing that on? Is it self?
Himself.
Myself.
Is Shield of Faith always self spell?
No, but he's putting it on himself.
I cast it on him.
Cast it
What'd
on
you do?
Amber. It's a good idea. Yeah.
What'd you do on me?
Is it a
Shield
touch
of
spell
Faith.
though?
No.
It's a 30 foot, I think.
So what do I get?
3. Volkia.
What do I get?
2 plus 2 armor.
AC.
Oh, so it's a straight out
60
shield.
Plus 2 AC.
Because I'm far away, I don't have to worry about the whole eye thing.
It's a shimmering golden.
But it also means that as my bonus action, I can't actually move this
One
close
turn?
enough to attack anyone.
Correct.
One
Probably
turn,
need to
or-
go
for a minute.
there.
Yep.
I think.
But I can also go.
10 minutes.
What's my movement speed? 30 feet. So I get an extra 10, which places me just behind Amber.
You sure?
Would that put them
Are you sure that's safe with how I've been behaving?
at the moment? I just want them within range of my spirit guardians. So, which that should do.
Yeah, that'll do it.
That's actually a very good question, Tolman. I think it's 1 attack, but
We should look into that because I did have a question
No,
about that
it is
previously.
just 1 attack because it's a reaction to make an attack for an opportunity attack. So
And if
yeah,
you've already
it's a
spent
That's
your
right.
reaction,
yeah,
then
it's a
you can't do
single
it.
attack.
Yeah, because it's a reaction, not a
Because it's
action.
a reaction, not an attack action, which is different.
So can those two make a wisdom saving throw, please?
those 2 can make a wisdom saving throw.
Make it now
Natural
or
20
later?
for one of them.
So he saved.
Say he's on the right hand side, so he's the one that's already taken damage. The other one got a 10, straight 10, because I don't add anything to my dice roll, so he's failed.
So he's failed. So
Doesn't that only happen
1
on their
takes
turn?
half then.
no, it's when they enter, and on the start of their turn while they're in it.
So this
So
is
they've
So
entered
because
for the
I've
first
moved
time.
to them, they've entered it.
I
Because
think the clarification is they actually have to walk.
Yes.
Oh no, he's right. He is absolutely right. So
Actually, I'm pretty
it's
sure it
the
does
same
have to
thing.
be.
It's the same thing as the
Yeah.
moonbeam thing.
Yeah.
So if you
Yeah.
We
if
have
it's
had this issue.
guys, if it's surrounding you as an aura and you move into them, it doesn't trigger straight away.
It's
It
on,
will trigger
on their
on
turn.
the
They'll
start.
try.
On their turn, it will. Yes.
Yeah.
oh, okay.
That's the actual clarification.
However, for the purposes of everything, actually, because it won't be their turn for a while, they may die before they get a chance to. So let's ignore that for now. Wait for it to actually be their turn.
So instead, I'm going to cast. Make sure it's not.
That's one of the biggest
concentration
rule
spell.
blunders we did ages ago.
I'm just going to cast Toll of the Dead on the one that Amber was attacking.
All right, so
before.
a wisdom saving throw
Yes, on the
The
actual
crown one.
Umber Hulk.
on the actual Umber Hulk. Yep, I failed this time. So
So-
2d12.
2d12, that's decent.
Yeah, it's a great
Someone
cantrip.
have an-
The
Toll
only,
the
problem,
dead.
the only problem is it's a hit or whiff.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
hit or nothing. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
if they've taken
Okay.
damage, it does 2d12 instead of 2d8.
Really? So it's more effective the more damage they've taken?
Yeah.
If they've just taken 8 point of damage, then it does deep 2d12.
7 damage.
That was low.
Yeah, 3 and a 4.
All right,
Thank you.
It's pretty good.
pretty good still. Yes.
Well, when you count next time,
That's why I like
can do
more
that.
dice with
I can
sneak
have
attack.
the-
More
Imperious.
dice, it averages better.
I am going to. Oh, I should heal that up. Yep, I'm gonna
I'm fine. Everything's fine. It's fine.
distance cast Cure Wounds again at level 3.
It's probably a good
Probably
idea.
bleeding from my face, but that's fine. Everything's fine.
Actually, sorry, I'll make this safe first.
She welcomes the pain.
Yeah,
She doesn't feel it till she stops raging. Let's just put it
No,
that
you're
way.
out of range anyway, so you're fine.
Oh no. Okay.
Because I just mauled the one closest to you.
3d8. Yeah, 3d8. That's not bad. That's
pretty good.
16 plus 7 is 21.
21.
23.
23 healing.
23
Okay.
points. Yeah, I forgot to add my spell attack modifier to your last heal.
Right.
That's my bad.
My
Jeez,
boy.
it would have been even higher. Then.
Yeah.
Nice.
Alright, 5 is Rowan. Guess.
Oh, I'm also
Do
going
it,
to
you can do
give
it.
him inspiration.
Yep.
Before I forget.
So
Just my bonus action.
I'm just gonna add the d6 to the saving throw right now. Because otherwise,
You can roll a 20! Save your d6.
Can I have
No,
Save your d. You can
No.
add it on
Yeah, I'll say you move.
I have a -2.
Yeah, but you can still roll a 20.
I think you actually made it that time.
Exactly 15.
Yeah!
something!
Okay! Erupting Earth.
Oh god, no.
Oh god. We should have left him start.
Don't do something!
Erupting Earth.
Once we finish this combat, I'll explain Troll Maiden why that's not true, because we learnt this before, but we'll finish the combat first before we...
Actually, before Erupting Earth, run away from the Umber Hulks.
Yes!
I have a speed of 35, so I'll get as far away as I can from them, because Erupting Earth has a range of 120 feet.
Nice.
So I'm going to target a 20-foot cube, which happens to encapsulate these two very nicely.
Yep.
And
Do
the
I
two of them.
also do?
No, you're out of it.
No, you're out of it.
It's basically
I'm
like 5
pressing
feet
it.
in front of you suddenly explodes.
They both need to make a dexterity saving throw.
Of?
15.
One just failed.
Okay. Well then, they take half. Well then, if it succeeds, it takes half damage. But the roll. Oh my god, that's awful. 8 damage from 3d12.
Wow.
That hurts.
Yeah, 2 snake eyes.
And or half as much if they succeed, and the entire 20-foot cube that I target becomes
Difficult terrain.
difficult terrain
Yep.
just indefinitely until somebody clears it.
Okay, that was
And
Roll.
I will also be invoking my spirit totem, bear form, in the center of everybody, so everybody is going to get 12 temporary hit points.
Everyone gets 12 temporary.
Except me, I think I'm out of range.
You are, but that's
Yeah.
okay.
That's alright. I can just hit and run from a distance. It's all good.
Does that affect me as well?
Yes, definitely
Yes.
affects you.
I can't find where my temporary.
And now you
On the
have,
top,
There it is.
next to your hit points.
and now we also all have advantage on strength saving throws.
All
I
right,
already
cool.
had that.
That was helpful. But Rowan, it was your go. So
Yes.
Amber.
Woo! Okay, let's see if I can fail this miserably again.
Unfortunately, I can't inspire 2 people. at once.
I get a +4 to this, don't I? Like a D4.
Yeah, blood.
Yes.
Did I move?
Yeah, I guess say you did move. Even if you
Alright,
didn't.
so at 3.
Then I pass.
You would be here.
Because without that, it was 14.
Potato spellcaster.
I am not good at the charisma.
Bad d12.
Used to.
Yeah, they both made it this
No,
time.
no, this is
In that case,
How is yours plus?
what?
Yours is a +1
Yes.
charisma?
Yeah.
You keep failing?
Yes.
My -2. What's wrong?
Hey, I'm a +4 and I bombed it once.
Okay, guys.
I'm still raging, so I'm gonna smash, and then I'm gonna smash.
Are you going to recklessly smash? Or
Yes,
just
I'm
smash?
gonna recklessly smash.
She's being hit anyway. What's the difference?
Modified 20.
You
for
realise,
first
sorry,
attack.
Amber, sorry, Alice, you realise this is going to have to be like, amongst our group, we're all friends, we've been friends for a while now, and we all like do LARP stuff together and whatnot. You just have to like one night during the LARP, just take Ash back to your tent and goes, I'm going to Amber smash.
No, you just.
Recklessly smash! Reckless rage!
We're gonna and all you're gonna hear from the tent is reckless smash.
Do it.
That'd be great because everyone on the shisha den would be like, "What the?" Fuck?
Oh no, because we
And
know
you
the
guys
dirt
already-
now. We all
Listen to yourself, okay. So wait. Oh god, I haven't normal attacked anything in so long. Alright, 1d12. I do d12. So 9 plus rage damage. So that's +2. 11.
So does that mean I need to change my name to Becky?
Becky.
Hey Becky, let
Plus-
me smash.
That's my damage.
Amber doesn't know how to math, just by the
Plus-
way.
Part of the dice.
Shit.
Guys. What's
Main is hard.
what did
okay.
you roll?
1.
Hang on, no. 11 normal, 11, 15 normal damage, plus 4 to your discretion.
15, so 19 points.
Necrotic or holy damage.
You can make the choice this time.
Holy.
Right. As
Radiant,
Amber
sorry.
comes in with your axe, and just like, and this gleam of light comes off the axe as you smack into the Umber Hulk. Second attack.
Second attack, also reckless. 21.
That hits.
And then... Oh,
numbers.
Fuck's sake.
What is it good for? More or less. most
6
stuff.
damage.
6 damage. That
I
was
rolled a
hard.
fucking 1.
And then the Hulkies.
And then the Umberhogs, yes.
Wait, was I supposed to? No. They
No.
were just 2 attacks for the D4s?
Yes, for attacks, yes.
Yeah, that's what I was just checking.
Can your Umber Hulks make wisdom saving throws now?
Now they can make their wisdom
Yes.
saving throws.
Because they survived from my,
They both failed this.
Yes!
my potato earthbending.
That's really good at just
Oh,
DOT.
that was shit.
No, it's still good DOT.
8 damage.
8 damage. That was pretty horrible.
We're struggling.
Just the fact that it does damage over time is excellent.
However, 8 damage is enough to kill the Umberhog.
Yeah.
The one that
brown
never
one.
been
One that's
Actual
been,
Umberhog.
one that's
The
been, the one that's been Hulk recklessly smashed.
So now it's difficult terrain on difficult terrain. Okay.
Yes.
It's impossible terrain now.
Yeah.
There's this big pillar of Umber Hulk and rock.
Dirt reaching up to the sky.
All right. So the last Umberhog that is still alive
He's gonna smash.
is going to smash. Natural 20.
Oh boy.
No.
Well done.
Good catch.
Sentient at the door.
Sentient at the door. Yes.
What's that do?
Oh
It
boy.
cancels any Sentinel at death's door cancels any crit effects within that is seen by me within 30 feet.
That's decent.
Against
That would have been my butt otherwise.
You can only do
Is
it
it a
2
reaction
times.
or is
Did
it
you take the
As a
Advantage.
Yeah.
Did you take the
It's
plus
a good thing you weren't stunned.
2?
Yeah,
Because then you couldn't do
I
it.
wouldn't have been able to do
No,
that.
no crits.
Okay.
They all hit. So
Did you
That's
take
why I
plus 2
started all
into
the way
effect?
Oh.
and ran in. Just like,
18
I see.
AC.
They still all hit -1. One missed. I saw the dice.
yes, you are correct.
Sorry.
So we-
I forgot he gave me the shield.
Oh yeah, the
Agathis.
yeah.
Safe.
Yeah. Oh no, that's Armor of Agathis. I'm thinking of. No, that's different.
I almost rolled the same damage on 3 dice.
Armor of Agathis gives you 5 temporary hit points and anything that
That
attaches
dice is
you
really
that
pretty,
takes
that
plus
shiny.
blows.
That one there in your
Yeah.
fingers.
It's just one of the dice we got
It's
from
interesting.
critical.
But once the temporary hit
roll
points is
advantage.
worn out, the effect ends too.
Distracted me again. 23 points of damage, so half that, so it becomes 12.
Which makes it quite weak.
So
Is that
thanks for the
total?
crit not being done, and thanks for the fact you have extra arm class. The damage reduced to you considerably.
Yeah, I didn't take any damage because temporary hit points.
That's right. All the party members pulling out all of the things for this combat.
I just spent 2 turns being useless, so you're damn right.
All right, so Oddclaw, you can.
I'm
do an
gonna
attack roll.
run to the grey one and sit on top of it, cross-legged.
Yep.
And just skeet
All right,
shoot
you're
with a
not, you're not
crossbow.
quite going to get up there.
Oh, I'll get close enough
You're
to
close
take a
enough.
shot though.
You sit on top of the other one.
I'll
You
sit
can,
on
you
top.
can take a shot without an issue. It's just
I
like
just
won't
wanted
get
to sit on top of it and just.
Sit on top.
Come on, man! Play by the rules, motherfucker! Play by the rules.
Sit on the red one.
Yeah, I'll sit on the red one.
Yeah.
That's high enough. 20 modified.
Missed.
Yeah, fuck off.
Get a stalactite. Yeah, done.
Shield comes up.
Off and on.
Magic
user! Yeah. Oh, that's good. Oh, shit. That's nasty. 1, 2, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 4 is 13.
13 damage.
Yeah, with sneak attack.
Yep, that's
Garbage.
yeah. The thing about what you do is that you can continually do that and not have to worry. Where he smites and uses spells,
Yeah,
spells,
yeah,
spells,
yeah.
you just keep doing it.
But it's kind of like a very uneven burn.
Oh, yeah, it's always gonna
it's
be
very
that way.
spiky.
It's almost like you use dice to determine the outcome.
All right, Antoine. You moving into combat? The last one.
Maybe.
There's other classes that are
15 or
more
higher.
So can you?
consistent.
15 or higher for
Like a
critical save.
fighter will generally have a more consistent damage rate.
Oh, really?
Than,
D8.
Oh wait, hang on.
You're a charisma, but you're like a paladin. How did
I
you
forget,
fail?
I didn't add my charisma.
Don't you also?
Your stats should
Saving
already be
throw.
recalculated all. It should already be there.
Plus
You don't
9.
add anything on top
Holy
of.
shit,
Yeah.
what? Plus 9?
Plus 9.
Oh, 'cause
On
it's-
saving
you're
throws?
fine.
Yes.
No, it's because he's a
He's been-
warcaster, probably.
No, it's because
No, guys, relax.
Because he gets his +3.
It's all calculated because he's a paladin for starters. It's a charisma saving throw, so he also gets charisma on top of that.
Yeah.
That's why it's +9.
Plus 9? Damn!
So I rolled 10 and I get +9.
Correct.
You're fine.
So that's fine.
There should be no way for you to fail.
You shouldn't be failing.
I'm like, hang on.
Yeah, Ash rolled a 2 when he passed.
Oh boy.
Well, I missed with the first attack.
It's a nat 1.
That's a nat 1. 17. No, I need 18, don't I?
Yep.
Yeah, so that means
You come in and it
Have
just
you looked at
ricochets
this?
off the armor as you try and chop into this
Yeah.
creature.
Oh.
3, your vault.
Where is it? This one.
Yep.
Hi.
Oh, that means you've got 2 damage over times on it. That's going to be cool.
One off a fucking crit. 19.
You
Plus
just need to get the
4
crit
means
on
that you
19 or
score.
20.
That's 10 damage from the spiritual weapon.
Yep, nice.
Hang on, are spiritual guardians and spiritual weapon both concentration?
No,
No.
spiritual weapon is not.
Spiritual weapon is not concentration. It's a fantastic spell.
It's like it's
Okay.
more a summoning spell.
That's so cool!
Yes.
Alright, awesome. Just checking, because
There's some really cool stuff out
Yeah,
there.
that's
Spiritual weapon used to be one of those old spells that many people didn't do because it wasn't great.
Yeah.
Now it's been
Beefed.
beefed.
yeah.
Reason why it's beefed because if you look at how it works, it's essentially
A free drop in.
no.
Concentration.
What it is that like if you have an offhand weapon, which most fighter types can at least do, and you can just attack and do damage of the weapon itself, but you don't add your attribute modifier to it. You have to get either a fighter or a feat to do that.
Yeah.
So all this is basically giving you that ability.
To do a
It's
spray
basically just an
attack, yeah.
offhand weapon attack, essentially.
Yeah. Toll of the Dead. Wisdom
Toll
saving
of the Dead.
But it's
wisdom
also
save.
got radiant type, which is
What's the
decent
DC?
for resistance
50.
too.
Oh, so I got to roll a natural 15 or above. So yeah, it fails. So
Okay.
2d12 me.
throw. So
2d12.
2d12 me.
That sounds really oddly kinky. Ooh,
That's
that's
better.
considerably better.
Damn!
19.
Nice.
Bam!
Mother.
Thank you.
Now you work.
Toll of the Dead comes in and you feel like the body just like crumble and suffocate itself. It's skin of very little of it that there is that's exposed from the plates of armor that are around it, sunken in, and the eyes sink in a little bit from the sheer amount of damage you did with that fucking spell.
Cantrip.
Volk here, so 4, so Imperious.
I'm still. I think I'm in range of it, so I'll make this. Yeah, I'm good. I'm just going to hit it with Firebolt.
You're good, you only just saved.
I'm good. I already knew the math because I rolled a 5 last time, so.
I know. But it was like 4 to fail.
I definitely miss with Firebolt.
Yep.
But I will use Healing Word.
And take 5 foot back. Just
Stop
to-
metagaming it.
No.
Just stay where he is.
I'm going to take, Healing Word on Amber just to give her 1d4 plus my spellcasting modifier.
Done.
What am I? What?
You take, get 8 hit points.
18?
8.
Oh, 8.
Yes.
I was like, that was a bit for like. Okay, 8.
Okay, so Rowan.
There's only one of them left.
Do a save.
I've run away. I'm far
Oh, you
away.
have to.
Because I'm just like. I already had my bow out. It's in my hands. I'll just keep on. I'll take another shot
keep on trucking.
because I'm
And
still
you'll shoot one of us
blessed.
in the back.
That misses. I'm bad, but I'm also going to speak a healing word to Amber.
Yep.
Because she is nice. So,
Oh.
All right, done.
so you shall be
Because it's
regaining
now Amber's turn.
5 hit points from me.
5?
Yes.
I'm yo-yoing all over the place, man.
Health is like
Yeah, 'cause you're tanking it.
If you take it, if you go down, all of a sudden chaos ensues.
Yeah.
If I go down, you're all.
Actually, I reckon
You go down. You're not going to be down there long. Trust me.
Actually, I
I was
reckon
going to sit between us.
even if Amber goes down, at this
2 minutes
point, I
rest,
reckon
isn't it?
now that we've reduced it to 1, we're okay.
Oh, yeah, easily.
Spare the dying.
It was
And
just the damage output of
as
4
long
of
as she
them
has
is
0 hit
terrifying.
points, she gets maximum healing from me.
All right.
I rolled a 6 for my charisma saving throw. 6, 7, 8, 9.
It's not enough.
I
I was
lost
going
it.
to say the D4 is not enough. Don't
It's
even
not
bother.
enough, you failed.
13. Damn the fucking shit
Plus
balls! Okay,
Plus 3.
I did it.
Are you ready?
I rolled a 5.
Yep.
What does 5 give me?
On
A
the
5 on the dice.
Who did I inspire again? I think I inspired you, Alice.
What?
Alice,
Did you?
you move away.
Did you actually
Again?
inspire me?
Which direction?
I thought you just laid in hands. I already used my inspiration.
7, so
No, I used it
that
again.
direction over into the difficult terrain. So she doesn't go too far because of the difficult terrain.
Yes.
So she ends up.
Profound.
I have
She's
very
on the other
little
side of it,
movement.
yeah.
I'm probably still on top of it.
That might actually miss you.
Yeah.
14.
It'll miss.
Misses.
Yeah, I'm
'cause she's
18.
18 at the moment.
I was gonna say it misses or even without the armor.
That's probably something else I should mention. Yeah, just because you see my dice rolls here, don't say it misses, because saying the numbers helps people who are listening. That's what I'm getting at.
Sorry, friends who are listening.
Even though most of the people who are actually actively listening have left now. Except for Troll. Okay, sorry, yes, that was a miss. So the attack of opportunity actually missed you. So it's now the Umber Hulk's turn.
Can you
Umber
make a
Hulk.
wisdom saving throw?
I can make a wisdom saving throw. And I rolled a 1.
Oh dear.
Let's hope I can do it.
The same way the battle starts, the battle will end.
yeah.
And it's Moonbeam strikes as well. Jesus.
No, that's not the Moonbeam. That's the
That is a
spiritual hammer.
9.
Yeah, but Moonbeam's going to affect it too.
Moonbeam's gone.
It's
Moonbeam went
well
into
done.
the spiritual
Yes.
weapon. And
Oh, okay.
9
Moonbeam.
damage.
9 damage. That wasn't as high as I thought it would be.
Yeah, no.
I was hoping that was.
I
gonna
rolled
be-
a 1 and a 3.
I was
Yeah.
really hoping that would be enough to kill it, because then he would have started the battle on rolling a 1 and ended the battle rolling a 1.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. All right.
So that's probably going to come after me now, isn't it?
It's got a choice between you or Amber.
I feel like Amber's done a lot more
I think there's a certain
aggressively,
amount.
like in
let
its
me
face.
have a look.
Depends on the type of creature.
Honestly,
Depends how intelligent.
Actually,
Yeah.
what it's going to do, because I just had a look at its intelligence, it's like looked at it, 3 of its compatriots have been downed, and it's just going to go, yoink, and start going into the ground and start burrowing into the ground.
Motherfucker. We need to stop that.
I mean, it's big enough we can follow the burrowing.
Yes, but we need
It's
to stop
not,
it.
just so you're aware, it's not burrowing and leaving a tunnel in this case, because as it burrows through,
It's digging up the
it's
dirt.
digging up the dirt.
So we
okay.
have to quickly kill
It's
it.
hiding.
But it's already dug into the earth 20 feet in.
Ah.
So it's gone.
It's gone.
I mean,
Unless you
unless
guys
you're
got something you
conditioning-
can immediately think of to stop it or something like that.
Do I think that if I cast Erupting Earth diagonally, I just spike into it from the ground?
you can try.
So like I erupt the earth into
I
digging through it.
will
and impale
tell
it.
you what, roll me a d20 when you cast the spell.
Yeah, you're going to have
Okay,
to
so
make an
yes.
attack roll.
I'm like,
It's kind of like an attack. I'm going to do more of a luck roll.
Yeah.
okay. 11.
Oh, is it a 50-50 chance? So yeah, you do it.
Is it
Oh!
going to explode out of the ground, or...?
I mean, we're not going to even know if it's
Just
succeeding.
do-
No, all of a sudden there'll just be this wet patch that like seeps up.
I failed my save.
Okay. I swear to
I
God.
still reckon it should just be Umberholt chunks blown out of a little volcano.
18 damage.
Nice. It puts him on. Not enough to kill it.
Yeah. Damn it!
Would it resurface from that? Because erupting Earth?
No, okay. So
It
what
slows it down.
I'm actually going to do here, because I did that on purpose, because normally I wouldn't actually tell you that. I would actually say, yeah, it dies, it comes up from the surface, it erupts into an explosion of bits and pieces as the erupting Earth basically come and killed it and whatnot, even if it didn't do enough damage to kill it. Because A, it was cool. I think it made a better scene. So that's what does happen.
It just explodes.
Here's what I was expecting.
Chunks of
The
it.
earth pushes it up and it piles it on the city.
It's more like the Earth moved under my feet.
Oh, shut up.
On that, we're going for a break.
Right, wait, guys. All right, at 20 past 9, there's no point in having a break. Because by the time we come back, it's almost time to finish. So what I'm considering that is that we just finish the night early instead of having the break.
and we'll just have a bit of a guess.
But before we do, I want to go, because Troll asked a particular question, and we learnt this many moons ago. So when they were having a combat against a whole heap of automatons, for lack of a better way of putting it, I put 100 in the room for the purposes of just more visuals than anything else.
We also did it against the orcs.
You also did it against the orcs, yes. And what happened is that the moonbeam got cast by Rowan. So moonbeam is what, a 10-foot radius, so it becomes a 20-foot area?
5 foot radius.
5-foot radius, so it becomes a 10-foot area. And what we were doing, because we didn't pay attention to the rules, is that you can move it 30 foot around, and he would basically just move it through the 100 figures, and at a minimum, get like 8, 10, or 12, whatever it is, as he's moving his beam through all of the figures. So essentially, Moonbeam, as a level 2 spell, which is not that high level, was doing crap load of damage.
And at the same time, I had my unicorn totem out, and as a bonus action, was speaking healing words. So I was like max DPS and max heal because every time I cast a healing spell,
Correct,
the entire
that's
party got
right,
6
yeah.
hit points.
Yeah, it
I
was kind of stupid.
Yeah.
So yes, it was being an orbital death laser and actually going through things, making it a far stronger spell than what it's supposed to be. Because when any area effect spell or any spell that you can move, and you move it through a target that hasn't been damaged by this thing yet, it doesn't actually get affected by it. And that's
Unless specifically stated.
in the actual rules itself. For the spell or effect or whatever it is. And that's why that's really important, because suddenly a level 2 spell, which is pretty good, became unbelievably
It became
good.
like a level 10 spell.
And
Like an 8 spell.
Yeah, it became, well, probably not a level, maybe a level 5 spell or something like that, but still, it was pretty tough. And that's the reason why when he had his thing going, he couldn't just move it into it, because otherwise he could just walk around a room, say it was like you're fighting like 100 kobolds or something like that, because he's one of this cool army sort of thing happening. He could literally just do a double move, a dash, move 60 feet, and essentially kill off most of them.
I mean, that's how far you can move a moonbeam anyway.
Then it becomes in Spirit Guardians becomes lawnmower effect.
Yeah, but Spirit Guardians with that would be just stupid if you dashed through a
50
crowd.
feet around as well.
Especially if you
3d8 damage to anyone that
especially
fails.
if you put it on a rogue build as well and they disengage and move through a crowd.
Yeah,
with
so
Spirit
technically you could move
Guardians,
90 feet with a Spirit Guardian on it.
It would just be
You could just like go through a whole army in one
put
go.
it on a tabaxi with disengage.
Yeah. The tabaxi with,
Literally
a smattering of
crop
monk
circle
inside
them.
it.
Yeah, you would just crop circle an area effectively.
You can't cast it on anything else but yourself.
Yeah, but if he was a paladin as well.
Yeah,
Anyway.
that's what I'm saying. You're paladin rogue.
It was one of those things where if they choose to enter it on their turn,
If they choose to enter it,
then they take the damage, or if they start their turn in it, they take damage.
Yeah, and that was the general rule across the board, and that was the mistake we made. It didn't matter in the case because they were fighting 100 things. They didn't have to fight those 100 things, but because it got triggered by a whole heap of damage.
My bad.
From
50 Shades of
the
Grey.
funny thing is that because we did that interpretation of the spell and did that wrong, it actually triggered more of them to attack you. Because I wasn't actually intending for them all to attack you.
Whoops! I caused so many problems in this
You
game.
did. You caused so many problems.
But,
Oh, you mean like the tiefling?
oh yes, I speak.
No more wild magic!
I speak the command word on my Pearl of Power to regain a third level spell slot.
Okay, now do remember where we are at the end of this particular combat, the spells you've cast and all the damage you've taken, all that type of jazz. If you want to spend a little bit of time right now to finish off any things you need to finish off because you finished the combat, you can do that right now. Might as well just get it out of the way.
I'm going to presume we take a short rest.
Yes.
Well, that was fun.
So you want to actually take the short rest now, so we can get that out of the way so we know we've done it.
As Amber just comes down from her rage.
Just like shaking a Umber Hulk eye off the end of the rapier. Just
I'm covered in blood. Let's be
trying to get
honest.
it off.
How damaged is everyone?
I am not damaged at all.
I'm completely untouched.
That's actually
that's
very
not
good.
true.
It's-
You
hey,
shouldn't
Alice
be
or
asked.
someone can take a photo
No,
of the
I shot
final
you.
part of the
That's
battle
right,
map.
So
Hang on,
I
I'm up.
regain
Why am
my
I down?
You fell off.
Put me back up.
You tried to perch on his head, but he didn't like you.
Well,
Face it
someone
in.
else has to pick it up because I'm too short.
Yes, Troll says photo evidence of the battle map.
Can't see it.
No, it's just photo evidence. Chuck it up on the.
Oh sure.
Why am I down?
You got knocked down, but you got up again.
That's why I said put me back up.
We're never gonna keep you down.
You get knocked down, get up again.
Balancing,
Hey,
bitch.
knock me down. God.
Hey!
Oh, he's surfing the fire element.
Okay.
Alright, all
Oh,
good?
man.
Alright.
My head was
Crossbow's
being
actually
fondled
pretty
by a
useful.
microphone.
Yeah, crossbows are very useful.
Crossbows are great when attached to a row.
Alright, I'll put it back into our normal mode now. So, you have now gone through this particular part of... I'm saying particular again. You've gone through this part of the cavern, and you are in this big chasm, as we saw before. Cathedral, as I've been informed of, which is a terminology for a large cavern, essentially.
Really?
That's what Nick says. So, I'm sure the internet will prove us wrong, hopefully, with a week.
Do you, Salty Dragon Tavern drinking game, every time you say particular...
Oh, I know. I get people drunk. I don't
Actually, bingo. We'll set up a bingo
set
board.
up a bingo board.
Yeah.
Amber rages.
Yeah.
Or-
That's
not really-
No,
that's
okay,
every
no,
combat.
Hang on. Amber does something stupid?
It's bad. It's the bad habits thing. I think it's actually a really good idea.
Mick makes a bad joke.
Yeah.
Rowan says, I have a plan.
Then one of the harder ones will be the plan is actually good.
Chris would be because of my paranoia.
It would be he steals food.
Now that's the thing we would normally do. It's like those bad habits. It's got to be those little bad habits that you do to help us try not to do them, so that bingo becomes less and less. That's a general purpose of it. Anyway.
We were planning a
easy
John
ones
Wick
and hard ones.
Parabellum drinking game the other day because we watched it for the first time at Sarah's, and we figured one of the things that would have to be in there is every time there's a nut shot, take a drink.
Because see, the thing is,
There is an inordinate
for the first
amount
half of the
nut
movie, there's a
shots
lot.
in that film.
for the first half, there's a lot, and the second half, there's
We usually end at 10 p.m.
Yeah, so we have a...
Our time.
Thank you for the Discord link, by the way. We normally finish 10 o'clock, which is about half an hour away from now. So we would have had a break probably at least an hour ago.
We normally have a break at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
I got
It's
into
an hour and a half
got
over.
into combat. We could do the combats a lot quicker, but some of the party members still don't know what characters there are, what they can do, or pay attention, or even know what's going on, or do their maths, or...
And some of us
Hey,
just get
my
whammied by
maths get
Umberhogs,
interrupted
like,
by
in
these
seconds.
guys all yibbery yabbering at
Yeah,
me.
that was a bullshit lock-in, but unlucky.
It was like... What did I... Like...
That's why with Umberhogs, you gotta target them one at a time.
From the perspective...
Not to mention the metagaming, yeah.
From the perspective of
You were.
I was
Tim.
not.
From the perspective of being a recipient of the whammy, what did that feel like?
What do you mean?
Like what? Like how how was I seeing the world under the influence of these Umberhogs?
It's kind of like, you know, you like go walk into the kitchen, open up the fridge, and forget why you're actually there.
Like that, but for like 10 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Like the silence.
No, 6 seconds at a time.
It's like the silence from Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he's
Every
his
time
one
you
was
see it,
stacked
you
for
know what it is,
like
but the moment you
5
look
Yeah, but
away,
every
you
time you'd be
completely
like,
forget
oh
that
wait,
it
I was going to
exists.
attack.
So it's
Why
just
are you
me,
gonna attack?
like,
I was using my butt. Oh.
like, I shot Amber.
Oh, I think
yeah.
it's most of us do.
They're just like, I've
Also,
got one less
for the
arrow.
record, I take the arrow out of my back
Yep.
and I collect my javelin.
Yes, you collect your javelin. I'm going to assume you collect
I
your
do
javelin.
not forget my javelin.
Javelin of lightning. I'm pretty sure you're not going to forget that.
I just
one.
want to
With a dirty
rip out
20.
Umberhog claws.
Yep.
Those
You
are
start
cool.
ripping out Umberhog
With a
claws.
dirty 20, I collect some Umberhog pieces.
And then,
Yep, sure.
would I remember that their eyes are the thing that affected me?
Roll a d20.
So yeah, the effect of the javelin, by the way.
Just roll a d20.
What do I?
Nice.
What do?
Sorry?
What do
9.
Alice.
I'm listening.
So
I'll
whatever target you
Huh?
set it
Tell it.
as takes the extra weapon damage, but the
Not quite.
beam effect ends at that target. So if,
It's
you,
more like-
if they're in
so-
a line and you choose the first one, it's going to hit the first one. If you hit the back one, it will hit all of them and then stop on the back one.
What I'm playing it as is that's the first time Amber's used it.
Yeah.
She doesn't understand that that's how it works. Now that she's used it, she can learn how to use it.
Yep.
Sorry, well, it's more.
You know what
It's.
I just forgot?
I know, waiting for them to finish their conversation. It's more that the. Even though you kind of roughly equate to the gaze of the creature is doing this, you kind of like being a tabaxi who you are, just kind of forgot all about it.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Tim, I take the mandibles.
Yes.
Are they sharp?
You guys, do you remember? Like, it's been a while. But remember, she was selling daggers of mandibles that you guys have purchased of manticores.
I
I don't remember
I
daggers.
bought
I
one.
just remember buying like 8 drinking horns.
Yes.
I actually bought one.
Yes, you did. You have
Yeah,
a.
but we could sell us some
These are
Umberhog
Umberhogs,
shit.
not Manticores.
Yeah.
Sorry. Good point. Sorry. No, they were using. She was also had manticores. Sorry. Umberhog mandibles is what the word I was looking for.
As
She actually
daggers?
has those as short swords.
I've got them now.
All right. Well, roll me a survival check.
How about I just cut them off with my 20?
Sorry.
I said I just cut all the mandibles off with my
No.
21.
You cut off some mandibles.
The
on another
skill's
one.
called Fanatical Focus,
Lovely.
and I can use it once per rage.
There you go.
There you go.
What's that one?
The one where I can reroll a skill. Saving throw, sorry.
The loot page.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is
It's
it only
one of my
charisma or wisdom, or is it
Any save.
any saving throw,
But
as long
once
as I'm
per
raging once per rage.
It's part of your
Zealot.
thing. Yeah.
Also, with your zealot thing,
I'm thinking
I noticed
I
we
might
keep
not do-
swapping the necrotic
Yes.
and radiant.
Okay.
That's
I've got-
plot.
That's a plot.
I was going to say, because, in the actual rules.
That's actually a good point. If you are watching this, you will probably notice that we do for the Zealot that Amber is, she either does Necrotic or Radiant, because for plot reasons we've allowed her to do that. Because when you create your Zealot, you've got to pick which one at the start, and that's all it is from here on in. Yeah. Because the plot of not knowing who the god is who saved her,
it's an unknown power, and she's still trying to figure it out, and so she tries her best to channel one of them.
But it's wild and uncontrollable.
Yes, and so
God,
sometimes
we've got a new wild mage.
Not nearly as bad.
Fog
I
cloud.
can randomly fog cloud and kill someone.
Love it, but best idea in the world.
What are you doing, Chris?
At least it was himself. I'm getting this one because I got to give them to Ash.
So Ash is not going to have time to paint it up.
But they'll come home with
another
us,
for you,
and
Dad.
I
That's
can
my
paint.
dad's
Yeah,
stabber.
but I thought you were going to do the tabaxi.
Yeah, I want all of them painted.
Oh, okay.
I'm happy to pay for each of them.
We actually probably need to get together and actually have painting days.
Ash,
Try
can
and
you
get some
grab
of.
the tobacco as well?
Okay, not you. I know you're generally useless.
Oi! Suck the dick, Tim.
What? There's wild magic
Why do you ask me
barbarians?
that? Why you ask me that and I'm not the gay guy in the room?
There's bee rangers that shoot bees.
Tim,
Nothing an abundance of bees can't fix.
did you see the new Druid Unearthed Arcana?
Yes.
There's a whole heap of new stuff coming
the
out.
The particular one he's talking about is the Wildfire Druid.
Wildfire
Yes.
Druid.
There
I said,
It looks
Have you-
so freaking cool.
have you been talking to Jeremy Crawford?
I do remember you mentioning
'Cause it's
that
like-
one, yes.
I've been pushing this for ages, is that druids are not always like protect the forest. They're
Yeah, but-
like renew the forest by cleansing it with fire.
But legit, it's you are in communion with a fire spirit.
Nice.
So I say again, have you been talking to Jeremy Crawford? Ah!
First things first, let's say goodnight everyone because we're going to finish
Bye,
up a bit earlier.
Yes.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
And I say thank you all for coming, and next week
Thank
we'll
you.
continue on this little dungeon run through the underneath of the Black City itself as they head to the Plague District.
For a second, I thought you said the Underdark,
night.
and I was like,
And
wait a
also-
second.
Feel free to join our
Hey,
Discord.
that's
We
second.
like chats through the week.
Yes, we
because
definitely
got
love
nothing
chatting
better
through the
to do
week, and
with
I'm
our
trying to get
days.
all of these other motherfuckers to actually hop on board
I
and
have a
chat.
job.
Alright,
So do I!
literally.
We just talk at work.
Your job is to sit at
Can't
work
do that.
and talk on
Yeah,
the computer.
I was going to
To be
say,
fair, I don't do the
90%
work,
of the
I just
time the
work
conversation's
different
happening, it's when I'm at work and I cannot.
Yeah, I know.
There was no way that I could get on
Anyway,
Discord.
thank you all for coming on. Thank you, Troll. Thank you, everyone else. I say Troll because I think it's the first
Love
time
you.
I've actually had an interaction with you tonight.
Yeah, it was.
Romney's there.
Romney only just
Yeah, I
came
know.
up
Romney's
right
been
at
like
the end.
stalking us
I know.
quietly in the background as usual.
Anyway, good night all.
Good night
See you
all.
next week.
Good night.
Love yous. Bye.